webcam's an easy way to do this. Okay. All right. We've started. Want to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance? Temporary flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remind everybody that we're recording and silence yourself.
You're on. You're on. Oh.
Business cards. We're going. Very good. All right. All right. First thing we're going to do is approve the minutes from last week. Deputy Mayor's already got some issues.
Just one.
But it doesn't include, say that I was there last week.
No, it says you were there, but it says I was presiding.
Oh.
You were there. You were presiding.
You were sort of presiding. Close enough.
Yeah.
All right. So other than that change,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes with that one change. I'll second.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right. Next up, the school budget presentation.
Yeah. Thank you, folks. I think you're sort of safe there, Pat.
All right.
Good. I don't think you'll be in shot. Let it come up.
Probably get the lights if they want to leave it to.
Yeah, we'll do that. Just want to make sure this thing is gonna light for us. There it goes. I'm gonna get the lights. First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to spend some time talking with you tonight. For those of you that don't know, I'm Tom Turk. I have the fortunate opportunity to be the superintendent of the Homer School District. Keith Fagerheim, one of our board members, is here with me tonight as well. And again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to talk with you. Each time of the year, this point in the year in May, we go on the road and talk to a number of different folks, whether it be within our own buildings, at faculty meetings, town board meetings, village board meetings, Rotary Club meetings, to update people on the status of our budget building for the next year. Really, when we talk about building a budget, it's not a 1 or 2 month proposition. It really starts at the beginning of each fiscal year. One of the first things that we do when we build a budget is we set some guidelines, and I knew your soda was going to be right. See that?
Well, yeah, it's okay. I'll take care of that.
All right. You don't trust Kevin?
Yeah.
What we want to make sure that we do is keep these things in mind as we're building the budget. These are the realities that we try to work from. First of all, we want to make sure that we're looking where we can to save money, maximize efficiencies while minimizing program impact. This is my 20th year in Homer, first year as a superintendent, but over the course, certainly of that 20-year period, we've been proud of the opportunities that we've taken to be mindful of the community's resources that you're able to give to us to use to educate our kids. And we also have been fortunate not to have to cut a lot of high-quality programming. We're not like some of the school districts that I have meetings with, where they need to make some tough decisions, knowing that it's going to impact negatively a student's experience. We also want to listen to the community, and that's part of the reason why we spend time coming around to talk with people. Our school district is only as good as the community that supports it. And so we want to make sure that we continue to listen take that feedback from all of you to continue to build what we think is a pretty good educational program for our kids. The third bullet really is the reality that we work within. Over the last 10 years, Homer, our school district itself, we have had $64 million that should have come to us through state aid that did not, because of a change in the formula that was used to fund schools. We're not the only school district, and as a matter of fact, most of the school districts in the state had similar situation, but ours was 64 million over 10 years, which makes it even more incredible, I think, that we're able to continue to put the programming in place that we do, given that limitation. The next is a tax levy limit, and I'll talk more in detail at a later slide about that. But oftentimes you'll hear in the press about a 2% tax cap, and I'll demonstrate in a few slides ahead there that a 2% tax cap is really not a 2% tax cap. And then the last thing I'm really proud of, we've spent our year so far on a year-long journey of building a 5-year strategic plan for our district. We've had over 100 people that have taken part in it so far, many more through surveying, but just on committees alone. The goal is to develop a 5-year strategic plan that really will dictate what we do as we move forward. Every decision that we'll make will be measured against that strategic plan. And it is not one of our priorities or one of the things that we value. We're going to say no to that and put it on the shelf and maybe consider it at another time. But we want to make sure that we're making decisions. We want to make sure that it fits with what our values are, and that strategic plan will help us to do that. The purpose of this slide is to demonstrate two things. On the left is a bar graph that shows our enrollment figures from 2009 up to what we forecast for next year. You can see in 2020, next year, we're estimating 1,877 students. You'll see a little blip and a little increase in 2019, the current year. We were fortunate, and we want to thank you for supporting it. Last year, we were able to add 2 additional pre-K classrooms at our elementary school, bringing the total number of classes up to 3, or 54 students that we're able to really provide a head start on. But you can see that a general decline, again, like most districts in central New York, a slight decrease in our enrollment. What you will notice on the right is the free and reduced percentages. And that blue line is really the one I want you to concentrate on. Back in 2007, about 24% of our students were identified as economically disadvantaged. That number has swollen to over 41% now. And anyone that works in the school district will tell you that that number is low. And the reason we say that is because 41% of the people that have self-identified. We have a number of other families that are struggling financially and economically that haven't let us know that. So that number, we believe, is closer to 50. So again, demonstration, while we have decreasing enrollment, we have increased needs, and we have to recognize that when we are putting our budget together. This next slide demonstrates our per pupil expenditure for general education students. This is really driven primarily by health insurance and contractual obligations. For the current school year, 18-19, our current expenditure per pupil for a general education student is $10,787. We have a number of our students who have special education needs, and in some cases, individualized programming outside of the school district that drives those numbers even higher. So this slide shows you our revenue sources and our expenditures. In 18-19, which is the current school year, we had an estimated state aid run totaling $24,225,078. Our estimated state aid for next year would move to $25,082,077, which represents the $856,999 increase. Another revenue source are what we call our E-rate or local sources, and that's really a catch-all for a number of different things. Some of the larger ones are Medicaid reimbursements, rental costs for people using our facilities, those kinds of things. This year, our budget had $606,000 in revenue from those sources, and we are estimating, based upon past usage, that same number for next year. The tax levy is what we raise in taxes. This year, we have raised $16,235,856. Next year, to balance our budget, when all of the other factors are considered in, we're looking to raise $16,544,339, which represents a $308,483 increase, which on a percent on taxes represents 1.9%. And I'll talk more about that in that slide about the tax levy that I mentioned earlier. Like any business, we have reserves that we have on hand to help us to run the business. We have a reserve plan after meeting with the comptroller a few years ago. They complimented the district on having a nice reserve set aside, but then recommended that we start to use it to offset some of our debt. And so we've done that. This year, you can see that we took from reserves and put into the general fund $308,234, and we're planning to do the same thing next year. And that's a plan that we have spread out over a number of years moving forward. Fund balance is the unrestricted fund balance, is that money that you put in your budget, knowing that there are going to be things that come up every year that you might need to pay for. In the industry that I work in, it's additional students. We in Homer do a wonderful job in a lot of the different areas. One of the areas that were particularly popular for students to move to us to receive are special education services. And some of the programming that some of our students require that are programs outside of a school can cost upwards of $100,000. So we have to make sure that we have money in the budget. The good news is that the fund balance that we had in the budget for this year, we haven't had to use, and so we're moving it forward to next year. So it'll be that same $680,000. So the totals in revenue sources for next year, $43,220,650, which represents an increase of $1.165 million. Under expenditures, the thing I really want to draw your attention to is that we have a new phenomenon in our district this year. For those of you that have heard about the Truxtun Academy Charter School, we closed our Hartnett Elementary School out in Truxtun a number of years ago. There was a very highly connected community group that wanted to put a charter school there, and they've tried on a number of occasions to get approval for that. This year they were successful, but in doing so, they've estimated that 38 of our Homer students will go to the Truxtun Academy Charter School based upon the initial scanning of the community. That equates to, because we're responsible for paying the tuition for those students, $483,000. So in that expenditure for next year is over $483,000 in money that we wouldn't have had to put aside in the past. And that represents alone about a 3% increase in taxes, which is not a small number. We're also responsible for busing students within a certain radius of the school district and providing special education services as well. So this graph, this pie chart really is just meant to show you that we are what most of you would expect we are. We're a people business. 75%, which is the 32,347,000 there. That's in instructional staff, adults that are working with kids and the materials that they use to do that. You can see the other components of our the budget, the capital component and the administrative component, much smaller because again, this is where we do our work and this is what we're good at, and that's working with kids and helping to provide to them what they need to be successful. This is the tax cap graph that I was talking about. In a nutshell, this column is the percent that we have been allowed through using the formula, the tax cap formula. This is what each year we could have gone out to the public. This was the limit that we could have gone out to the public at without having what is called a supermajority. So what we would need a greater than 51% if we went out at this number. So in 2013-14, we could have gone out to the public to raise in taxes $684,310, or 4.49% of an increase. The district, this column is what we actually did. So in 2013-14, we went out at 3. You can see in 2015, 2016, 2017, we were fortunate enough to be able to go out at 0 when we could have gone out higher. Last year, we went out because we needed to balance the budget. We went out at 1.9%. This year, our tax levy threshold is 4.22%. We're going to balance the budget by going out at that 1.9 that I mentioned earlier in the presentation. How will that 1.9% affect your tax bill? And these are estimates, but if you have an assessed value on your property of $100,000, the estimated increase to your taxes would be $38. And then if you go down the left side there to the property value of your home, you can get a feel for what it will be on your tax bill. Programmatically, we're excited about some things that we're looking to do for next year. Our district has been fortunate over the last number of years of increasing the amount of technology that we're able to infuse into our schools. Devices in the hands of kids and our teachers. One of the things where we have an area of improvement is how we use it so that it's not a substitute for good teaching, or it's not more technology than is really helpful for kids. So we're talking about putting in place a technology integration specialist. This would be a teacher whose full-time job would be to work with teachers and with students to help them better utilize technology in a meaningful way. The next are 2 instructional coaches, one at the elementary school and one at the intermediate school. We currently have a number of teachers who receive a stipend on top of their regular teaching salary to work with teachers essentially when they have time to do it, whether it be their planning period or their lunch period or before or after school. And while that model has worked fairly well, it doesn't work as well when you have to do one job and then come do another. Those of you that have more than one job probably understand what I mean, but these instructional coaches will be full-time positions where they will work with teachers, helping them improve the educational experience for kids. And that could be everything from basic lesson planning to classroom management, to the development of unit planning, all those types of things. And that'll be on an ongoing basis. The last thing that we want to talk about programmatically, this will be year 3 that we're able to include our innovation grant program. Essentially what we do is we ask teachers to provide us with proposals that help to reimagine their classroom, to empower them to design and implement a creative classroom space and units of study. We were able to do that for 2 years, and we're excited to have those proposals out to people right now. They're being completed, and we'll be evaluating them and identifying who are the recipients. I just included a few pictures here to demonstrate the kind of things that we're seeing as a result of these innovation grants. This is a greenhouse that was constructed out behind the high school. It allows our kids to get outside and get their hands dirty and plant and work with the earth. Obviously, we're an agricultural community, and we want to include that component in our regular programming. The pictures in the middle are pictures of some furniture that really has allowed us to reimagine some spaces. These tables are on wheels, so they can be moved around and reconfigured into different sizes and shapes depending on the number of students that are working at them. But they also can write along the top of them. They're whiteboards, so you can sit and work with your student, or kids can work together and do a lot of their planning right there on those tables to be easily cleaned by the custodians later. And the last thing is that we have a lot of manipulatives, a lot of materials that are being purchased through these grants that allow kids to work collaboratively with one another. So we've been really happy and have been very proud of the fact that our Board of Education has been supportive of that. So here are the propositions that you'll see on May 21st. The first proposition is the authorization to expend the amount of $43,220,650 and to levy the necessary tax to do so. Our second proposition is one that you've seen before. We entered into a 5-year leasing program. This is year 5 of that plan. And what that allows us to do is to completely turn over our fleet in a 5-year period. Many districts hold on to buses for longer periods of time. Obviously, when you hold on to a bus for 10 years, the amount of costs of maintaining and parts for those go way up. Also, the depreciation on the buses is astronomical. A $130,000 bus, when you purchase it 10 years later, is worth about $6,000. Not to mention, you have a lot of buses that have the potential to break down. So we've been fortunate to have a really nice fleet that's well equipped for our kids. We're one of the largest busing districts in the state, about 176 square miles. Our buses travel a lot of miles, and it's rare. I don't know that I've ever seen a Homer bus broken down on the side of the road, which is a good thing. You won't see Homer buses with rust. You won't see Homer buses with parts falling off of them. And we're proud of the fact that we're able to turn our fleet over. So this proposition would ask that we be allowed to spend no more than $780,000 to lease 8 66-passenger school buses. And again, that would complete that first 5-year cycle for our buses. So we would have no bus older than 5 years after next year. Secondly, we want to purchase 2 2019 Chrysler Pacificas, smaller type vans. These are used for a lot of our students who travel to some of those specialized programs that I was talking about, some of which are in Binghamton or Owego or Syracuse, Oswego. We travel a lot of miles, and they do a nice job to get us there safely. The third proposition might look a little bit different to you. We've had the Phillips Free Library funding proposition on our ballots for a number of years, and the library has changed their approach this year. And while we don't have anything to do with the development of the library budget, we do provide tax collection and voting day services. But as opposed to in the past, they would go to the town and to the village in addition to the school ballot to raise their funds. This year, they decided to put all of their funding on this ballot. And so you can see that the increase, this was what the dollar amount that they asked through the school ballot last year, $113,165. This year, it's $196,165. Again, the district doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the creation of that. And then I was asked, and I put Priscilla Bergman Thomas's contact information on there. She's anxiously awaiting your phone call. She's a library director if you have any questions. They tried hard to get the word out, so I say that in jest, but I know that she'd be happy to talk with you if you want to give her a call. We have 3 board member seats who are up. Keith Fagerheim, who's here tonight, Shanice Riley, and Kim Sharp. And we have 3 people that are running for those free vacancies. Aaron Bowens, Shanice Riley, and Keith Fagerheim has come back for another go. So you will have a choice of 3 to fill 3 slots on May 21st. So this is where we vote and when we vote, the old music building at the high school in Homer on Tuesday, May the 21st. We start at 7 in the morning, and we don't close up shop until 9 at night. Obviously, I can't tell you how to vote, but I could ask you, please vote if you are a Homer resident. It really is an opportunity for your voice to be heard about how things are done in our fine school district. Questions for me?
I asked all mine at Rotary.
You did, yep. Again, if any of you have any questions, again, if you want to give me a call or email me at school, I'd be happy to get back in touch with you. Again, I thank you for your time.
Can you talk a little bit about the enrollment numbers, how they jumped and then dipped again?
Yeah, so I'll go back to that too now. That's all right. That's all right. So you can see in the slides, we had general decline really all the way from 2010 down to 2018. And then in 2019, one of the largest causes of that increase was that we added in 2 more sections of pre-K. So that was part of the reason that our numbers went up as well. So that really is the.
Will we not have those in 2020?
No, we do. Yep.
Okay. But I'm just.
The decline again is because of the kids that are going to be going.
Is that what it is? The kids are going to?
Well, no, actually, we haven't put that number in there yet, but that's, had we not, there's a formula that you use to try to project what the percentage of the decrease is. And so there would be smaller class sizes as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you, have you guys done any analysis? This is just out of my curiosity to show where the students, where they are no longer coming from, where the declines are happening? Is it just people are having smaller families, or?
We haven't done that. One of the things in our strategic planning process is we are looking at the various stakeholder groups that we have and trying to identify how can we put a mechanism in place so that we can better communicate and keep tabs on all those things.
Right.
Because it is a little defeating when you hear we have declining enrollment. It would be nice to be able to have a better feel for why that is.
Yeah.
And so we're looking to try to do that, but no, we don't have any
Yeah,
solid data on
it'd be
that.
interesting, only because I know that a lot of people move to Homer because of the schools.
They
And
do.
so,
And what is nice, and I say this in small groups, but real estate agents tell me all the time that
Oh,
the
yeah.
easiest way to sell a house is have it be in the Homer Central School District, and we're proud of that.
yeah,
And certainly want to keep that trend going.
same
So,
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, folks, appreciate it.
Anyone else have any other questions?
Audience questions?
Meeting's got to go to another meeting, so I'd like to push the fire department report
Sure.
up.
Cool, thank you.
Aside from what's here, Mail, do you have anything you want to throw out?
Nothing other than obviously aware that one of our elected members passed away last week. I thought it was actually kind of nice for a Friday morning funeral. We had 26 people show up for the funeral, which was good. As you know, sometimes like that with active members, they ask for the fire truck to be used as the hearse, and it takes all of those people to get the casket up and down, and we had to do it twice.
All right.
In the pouring rain, but it all worked out. So we had a nice showing for Mike Hoffman's funeral, and Cortlandville came up and stood by for us while we were there, and the city of Cortland was on standby as well, just in case it did get something, because any of our available people were tied up.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, they did a nice job. Family was very happy.
Good.
The success of our volunteers is because of guys like Michael Hoffman. He's been in since 1972, 47 years service to the Homer Fire Department. Exceptional.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that you guys did a great job the whole time. It was
Good.
nice.
Thank you. We'll pass that along. Unless anybody's got any questions, I think that's about it. I just got a phone call today. Our annual aerial ladder testing is coming up. That's going to be scheduled in June. There's a potential that maybe the last part of June, we may also be going to Spartan to look at the chassis for the new truck that may be finished somewhere in that last week of June, first week of July.
Who's going to go down and see that?
Right now, that depends on a few things. I'd kind of like to stay on and go. Usually Mike goes. There's a couple of us usually that goes. That's quite a distance. It's in Charlotte, Michigan, and so we fly out and do it. Usually take a day or so and then come back.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the fire report as written.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We did see that we sold the old turnip gear. We only got like $450 for it, but it's better than throwing it away.
Yes.
So, a little extra cash in the.
Do you need a motion to dispose of old 2.5 or 3-inch hose?
It's on the,
Exactly.
it's on the agenda.
Yeah, it's down below, so you can go ahead and do that. Mike can let me know.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we talked about that maybe as a
Yeah, we
workshop or something, so just to make it official and.
Very good. Thank you very much, man.
Okay, thank you, folks.
Thanks, Bill.
Yes. This is, oops.
All right, Fred. I'm excited to be in this room.
Is this the first time it was used, or did you guys use it already?
You're christening it.
I need a big thing of grape juice to knock over.
I don't have a firm date yet on when they'll start the bridge. I got a hold of the engineering company today and asked for a date specific because I thought I'd be asked that question tonight. I know that the materials have been ordered for a month now, so I assume that they're in. They were ordered before we ever signed the contract. And as soon as you nicely get moved into the next quarters, we'll block off the front and start our next phase of construction.
And so you guys are ready for us to start moving now, I take it? Or
We
no?
are.
Yeah? Okay.
We
Are we
are.
planning on that schedule?
Friday.
Friday?
This Friday?
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
So we're getting a lot of compliments on the building.
Yeah,
And
it's wonderful.
so I think that probably there needs to be a day that's set between the town and the village to clean out the storage trailer out here, then determine where we want everything to go.
Okay.
The huge green chairs that were in the boardroom belong to the village. And the board is in, I'll just say, discussion as to how to set this room up. Obviously, it'd be nice to have a board table that would hold 16 people, and but I guess there's some board members have a difference of opinion. I had suggested, or Anita had suggested round tables, folding tables, so the room could be reconfigured every time there was a different need. You know, it could be like it is, or it could be across that way. They could all be broken down and chairs that are stackable, or we can go with some bigger chairs that are obviously what I had figured for the board was a little more comfortable chair because of the time period that they may sit there. But so that's not in stone yet, but it's something that we're working on. And we're actively working on, and Pat can attest to it, that at our last meeting, in order to get the file cabinets out from in front of the doors up here, I probably need some of the storage room in that. So we're actively seeking ways to replace that kind of storage for the village, and one of which is to move my office, not to go back to where the clerks are now, but to be in the office with Anita in that back room. And that way that it would just be code in the front. So half the room could be code and half the room could be files. So I mean, anything that, as we work through this, all right, and get everything into the offices that we need to, we'll be able to be a little more definitive on where things go. But we certainly want, this supervisor doesn't want to stop now. I want to finish the balcony, whether it's for offices or for storage. I think it's imperative that it's been empty since 1955. There's, other than housing a few mouse and rats or bats, it's probably not done a lot. And so I think that we will continue with that. So we did put off the, we were going to fix the sidewalk out here. And actually I asked the highway superintendent to hold off setting up the complete construction concepts that was going to do it until we finished with the front of the building. Because if that was all shut off, in front of the building was shut off, and then people got to come in and park backwards in the parking lot, I thought it was just too much at one time. So as soon as the construction is done in the front of the building, We'll get back on fixing that sidewalk so there's not a puddle there every time it rains, which is, it's a little, it embarrasses me whether it does anybody else or not. I just, always wanted something there that's wide enough for a tractor to plow, or a truck with a plow on it, so.
Ever thought of concrete jacking on that sidewalk? They just drill holes and stick polyurethane and lift it?
That could probably be done, Ed, but it still wouldn't, it's not wide enough.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right,
All right.
in order to.
Okay, I thought, yeah, okay, you're gonna make it, oh, that's even better.
If it was me, I would even widen the blacktop a foot and a half on each side so that the drain was in the blacktop and not in the lawn. I think that the water would run better there, so. But the lights that have been done up here are the original lights. They all been refurbished with LEDs. There is another light from the balcony, which is identical to these, only smaller, that is sent away and being refurbished now. That will hang right in front of that big window. And then there'll be like, I think it's gonna be a big plate glass. I'm not sure what the architects got planned, but from that window down into the foyer. And we obviously left that, we found a extremely nice old railing there when we tore the wall out. So I just think it'll, it's really gonna enhance. I've been super happy that we've gone beyond what the architect planned and with the insulation and the sheetrock and the painting. So, but I can answer any questions that you might have, if you have questions.
I probably asked you this, but I forgot already. Do you have a rough estimate of the time involved in doing the work on the front section once we get moved out of there?
Well, you know, the contract said we'd be done December 31st. And then it said April 30th. And of course, the last major big holdup was the heaters. They were unordered, and everything that could go wrong with the order on the heaters went wrong. And I can't believe that if all of them are vacated and the construction company doesn't have anybody in the way, I don't see why it's going to take over a month. I shouldn't think it would take that long. I mean, that doesn't do anything for the balcony.
No, right.
That'll be a separate deal.
Right.
But I really can't conceive why it would. They got to tear the heaters out. They'll have to replumb them. Once the offices are stripped, they'll stud them, wire them, and insulate them, sheetrock them, put the new ceilings in. So, but with the crews that they've had here, I mean, the communication wires are about done. Everything is in place. So, but please don't hold me to it.
I'm not holding you to anything, Fred, don't worry. I was just curious.
No, nobody wants it done
No, I know.
any worse than I do.
I know.
This has been my longest, of all of the construction projects, this has been the longest and required the most time that I've ever had out of, this is the fourth project, so.
Well, I think it looks great. I'm very excited.
I don't know if you know, but to help with the move, Anita has some things. We have movers coming in on Friday, so they're also going to work with the town to arrange some of those things that they were mentioning about moving.
Yeah, she'd like some of those fireproof files moved.
Exactly.
And Fish can move them so much easier than the highway guys.
We have them moving them for us too that day, so yeah, so we're combining that to save everyone money.
So to that end, whatever their hourly charges, I expect that you will tell us
Okay.
what our share of that is. And probably you and I, Hal and I need to communicate on how to share the event tonight.
You do.
That's all ordered too. We're dealing with Little Italy. And so for food, and once we have the numbers, I can meet up with you and Anita.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Homer House is doing it for free, right?
I don't know about that part. I was asked to get food,
Did I
so.
discuss money with Jim?
Well, they're not doing it, we're not paying for it. The chamber might be paying for it, but we can't pay for it.
I was told at the chamber,
Chamber's gonna pay for it,
yeah, because I had the same issue.
right? Yeah. Very good. Thanks, Fred.
Any other questions? No? All right. I may stay a while.
Stay a while. Let's see what's coming up.
I'm waiting for the police chief to sing.
Oh, he always does. He always does. Let's see here. Yes, treasurer's report, and payment of bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Oh, what have you?
All reports.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear who seconded.
Tim.
Okay.
wait a minute.
It looks like this, it's after all the bills. or
There's an
after all the-
actual, this
It was
is a,
last time.
I missed it last time. Actual treasurer's report. What is this? We're still working on, I see you've mentioned the CHIPS. The CHIPS funding and the emergency snow removal funding is not done yet. We've got 5 more weeks in Albany, and we're gonna try to get some of that money back. So hopefully we'll have some good news. Great job of getting the AUD in on time, Tanya. That's fantastic.
No extension.
All right. This is great. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Cemetery.
It's the first time. Oh, you can get to it.
I see they're getting it ready for the celebration.
And seems nice to be happy about all the money we've been getting.
Can't imagine.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept the cemetery.
The one thing within the treasurer's report was not in here about the chart. I don't know what I need to do.
That camp is in the last couple of days. We've been in contact with beneficiaries and the trustees of the Earl Abbey. We put a tarp up with them, which they're paying for out of the Earl Abbey funds. And now they're looking at a permanent solution. So most likely the roof is going to be replaced. At least the tarp's up so it doesn't leak, and get the pictures as the, Jim has pictures where it's completed.
Excellent.
I'll make a motion to accept the cemetery monthly report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Codes. Let's see, they got the permit to put in the beer cave at Speedway. We have been talking about it for a while.
Yay.
Oh, and the new drive-through canopy at the bank. That's nice. And then, I see he's got them on here. I did have a meeting with the beautification committee Saturday, and one of the things I let them know was for the quality of life stuff, so cars without plates, garbage cans still out, that sort of thing. They're going to, sorry, Dan, email you. And so they're gonna email Kevin and you. So basically, if you want to just keep a spreadsheet as they come in, and then Kevin can tell you when they're done, sort of thing. I appreciate that. And again, I did tell them that Chief Pittman says call 911 for after hours noise complaints, but I don't like that idea. Is there anything else we can do?
So we could address it.
So we can address it,
I
okay.
mean, you can go the next day, but it's still.
What's the point? Yeah, they were like, can we take video of it? I said, that's so, okay. All right, any other thoughts on the codes?
There's nothing in here, but I do have an issue with the French Total Auto Care on the corner of James and 281. How do we have Kevin checking? Do we ask him to do it, or sign him to do it?
I think he has been checking.
He's
Well,
gone.
there's like three things. I think one is a safety issue. If there's trucks delivering parts or whatever, you really can't see them. And I'm not sure how many vehicles he's allowed to have on his line. As we try to improve the image and the
Yeah,
beauty of the, it's not a pretty sight.
yeah. You've gone down and spoken with him, right,
Yeah,
Chief?
a couple times, and I thought he's moved his vehicles back, he's kept the larger vehicles away from the corner, which helps a lot. I actually reached out to some of the delivery people and spoken with the managers there. It's not the managers making the deliveries.
Right.
You know, they've been trying to pull over on Main Street to get not the body sidewalk.
I know there wasn't any a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a friend of mine got
was
It
side.
wasn't related.
Still, it's an issue.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know Kevin's aware of it. And I think he's been working with Chief.
I've been talking to Craig, the owner.
Right.
He's been very good.
Oh, yeah, he's a friend of mine in the customer, and it's just a aesthetic thing as well as a safety issue.
yeah. Yes.
All right, see what he can do.
Well, what we tell everybody is always to send Kevin an email though if you see something.
Oh, yeah,
Or to
okay.
call the office so we can remind him tomorrow, because we tell him all of these.
Other than that, I'll make a motion to accept the list.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Dog control. Happened. Nice weather and dogs are everywhere.
Couple of them are repeat offenders.
Yes, I see. Repeat offenders. All right,
I make a motion to accept the animal, dogs report as written.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, streets and parks.
I can talk to you sometime about sidewalk repairs and how you're gonna do it.
Sidewalk repairs have started. We've dug up how many, Philip?
Big section Cherry Street, we've got a section on Center and Park.
So you're actually gonna dig them up and
Well, they're formally stopped today.
okay. That's expensive. Alright.
There's only this 5 or 6 of them, I think I told you last month that we're doing, but we've actually
I
started.
remember, but I'm just more concerned with the little lips and
Yeah.
the
I
stumblers and the wrist breakers
Go around.
that are
and-
everywhere. And I know
address.
it's the homeowners, but, you know, we don't wanna be
We'll,
petas and start finding them, you know, but.
as time permits, we'll go around, give you some addresses of some of them that are up like that.
Yeah, it's just, that's where I was wondering if that concrete jacking might help. Might be cheaper to fix.
Yeah, but when there's a tree, though, there's nothing to do.
No, but you can make the other ones come up and make it a smooth transition. That's.
We lifted several
you know,
last
you got
year.
2 inches.
We lifted several last year and cut the roots.
You got a good start on James Street on that one.
So,
Keep up the good work.
you guys are still picking up furniture and appliances, Mike?
That should level out now. Now that your amnesty date is over, what you got was the people that couldn't get it there for some reason, set up a lot. Now, will we still get some? Sure. You'll get TVs, you'll get all kinds of other stuff during the summer.
But at this point, that's on them.
I know. I had,
But even for Amnesty Day, we're not a delivery service.
what you got was you got a lot of calls, you know.
If it's elderly folks or people that can't,
Right.
I have no problem with people who can't. I have problem with people who are lazy. That's
I
what my
get it.
issue is.
Trust me.
Yeah, I know. And also, well, not that it was a laziness issue, but it was a problem. We did a terrible job of promoting and highlighting the Amnesty Day. I don't think a lot of people knew what it was. I don't know, imagine you got that much. Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
you got a lot still.
We got a lot.
They
Really?
lined up right down.
It was packed.
Really?
Yeah,
It was packed and the dumpsters are overflowing and it's,
they brought them back twice. And
Yeah.
Did they really? Okay.
I did hear get a couple phone calls, so wanting to know when the amnesty day was, and which I don't really understand because it was on their water bills.
Yeah, well, of course, that was also a new thing, right? Because
I mean,
that was,
it was out there.
we needed to put it in the Homer News the week before.
We
No,
did.
maybe. We didn't have it on the website. We didn't have it on
Oh,
Facebook. We didn't have it anywhere like that.
No, that's true. You didn't have it on
No, we did
Facebook.
not do a good job promoting it. So how much did the dumpsters cost us?
You will know here shortly because we have to pay the full shot at this time, so.
Well, we're paying for the dumpsters, but what goes on, we have a credit up at the landfill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have $1,100 at the landfill,
okay.
but keep in mind, we're using that for
Oh,
the
sure.
little church too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just wondering if,
It'll be interesting to see what it does cost us this time, right?
okay. Yeah, let me know and then,
We are getting a lot of calls requesting a second Amnesty Day in the fall.
where we will have
They
one.
are.
We will.
I'm okay with that, but just keep in mind that we're pushed trying to get ready for winter too. And,
Yeah.
You know, with fall cleanup and this year, kind of double the strike. You might want to do.
Well, we did 2 days because of my little opening deer season blunder. I shan't make that mistake again.
Yeah, and keep in mind, there's 3 of us gonna be out for hunting season this year. So
Good, right? So there's even more reason for us not to do it then. You guys, are we muzzle loading and archery
I'm not
too, or?
loading. He's probably
You're
doing
doing it all?
it.
All right. Use up some vacation time finally, that's good. All right, yeah, we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll just do it a little earlier or something. Let me know
I'd like to
when.
do it a little earlier.
Earlier's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I think people like having 2.
Yeah, I definitely think that helps.
The other thing you mentioned in here, Mike, is that we know the status of the Auctions International stuff by
Yeah.
tonight.
Yes, In fact, I met a guy at the garage at 4:30 to pick up Jimmy's tractor tonight.
Ooh,
And you did pretty good on everything. I gave the list of, I don't have it all with me, but I just give it to Tanya. So she
Okay.
does have
did everything sell?
everything except the one, I put 32, the Volvo dump truck.
Right,
I put that on there to see what it would bring.
yeah,
10-1, I think was one, Tanya,
Yeah,
and the town wants it.
right.
I countered at 25,000,
yeah,
and I haven't heard nothing back, so you gotta wait 15 more days. But anyway, the town wants it, Fred. I don't know if
Bam.
John said anything to you yet, but John kinda wants it, because we kinda figured we could share it between us.
Fred can write
I
you
probably
down.
just,
You can
you
write
probably
me
just
check
told you
tonight.
something you didn't know
You got the
about.
keys, you just got the keys.
So anyway,
All right, so Steve Dafo didn't bid on it at all? No? Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
Good
So
looking
did
truck.
that, we put up, 2 pickup trucks. Did they both go?
yes, they're
Really?
both gone.
All right.
2 pickups, the wood that's in the
Right.
compost site, we got a guy that bought that for $10.
Has he picked
But
it
that's
up?
okay, it's accounted for.
Yeah?
It's accounted for, somebody's taking it local to use it, to cut it up for firewood, I'm okay with that, so.
Don't we have the one part that we, that was,
The
we
one
turned
clam
down.
bucket
yeah,
Yeah.
for the cat loader, this is for our
Yeah.
2 previous loaders. I counted that, I think it was 1600,
Mhm.
and I counted that at 5,000, I haven't heard back on that either.
Okay.
So I contacted, our cat salesman,
Mhm.
we're gonna go that route and see if he can find a buyer for it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I just want to put out for our, because I already talked with Phil, because I hit him up about this, for those of us that have a stake out in front of their house to get a tree, with 14 days of rain, just
Yeah.
waiting for things to dry out a little bit before that comes in, so if anybody else is out there that's listening, it's
We're
coming.
afraid of making a bigger mess,
Right.
digging,
Yeah,
and of course, we're behind, all your contractors are behind, as you can imagine, with all the rain, so that's what's going on.
And I did get an email, or many of us got an email from Mary Alice. She wasn't too excited about the new garbage cans.
Yep.
It's a balancing act, between wanting people to be able to,
Well, we're doing it the right way too. Before we place them, we're asking,
right,
because we don't want to make anybody think that they gotta have it, you know what I'm saying? So
sure,
we're asking to make sure it's all right,
okay.
so that we don't run into, I got lots of trash in my yard, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Well, let me know how that goes.
Yep, we'll do.
Well, we found a lot of property that the village owns that
Oh,
we've
okay.
actually found spots for most of them now.
Oh, good.
I think you're gonna be all right.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
doing it on village property, so.
Good. We got one down in Durkee by the swamp somewhere.
There's lots of them.
Okay.
They just don't seem to use them down there half the time.
Oh, they don't? It's a big dog walking road there.
we have 3 reports this time. Nick, Phil has one in here now
I
too.
see. All right.
You got a report from Philip,
Yep.
and then Nick gives you a report on maintenance on the vehicles.
was good, but we had a lady a resident in last Friday, I think, complaining about, I think it's Durkee. And I talked with Phil about this because I saw him, but Mike, did you know about it? It's because when we raised up the road on Durkee, because it was flooding, now there's complaints that the water's not draining and it's going to be a
Yeah.
mosquito thing.
He did say something to me about that.
Yeah, and I just wanted, she thought that we would be able to just replace the manhole cover with a slated one. And I was like, I don't think so, because that's a closed system, not the storm water system. So if we did that, we would just be adding water to treatment plant, which is not what we want to do. So the problem with that property that's on the other side of the Durkee Swamp is the drainage pipe well,
Well, the swamp levels out,
right,
levels out in the catch basins and it won't go down until the swamp goes down.
Right.
It's just the way it
because it's the
is.
same
You can't do
level
anything
as the
about it.
swamp.
Yep.
Right, Buzz?
That may be our swamp pretty quick.
I just have this image of Durkee Swamp draining into and all going down to the sewer and us getting this giant hill.
The way our luck goes, that would probably.
Yeah. All right, any other questions for the guys?
I'm good.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Report is read.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes. All right, farmer's market is next. We had a good opening day, about 125 people, 3 vendors. Ike showed up and Homer Hops sold every drop of beer they brought, so that's good. So I think they're excited to come back, so we'll see how that goes. Did everyone buy your friends and family
Hey, that made
discount bags?
They made a great Mother's Day gift. I tell
That's
you.
right, I gave one to my mom.
Yes, that's a shameless plug, but.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
Retroactively
Two
gift
birds,
one.
one stone.
Yep.
All right, I would entertain a motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion to accept the farmer's market report.
Discussion?
There's a comment on here about the signs for the parking. Is that something we need to address?
That's the signs, yeah, the signs in front of the Center for the Arts. Chief, did she talk to you about that?
We went over with Mike's guys, we posted a couple here to corner on Cuba Street.
Yeah.
Oh, you did put up some new signs? Okay, good.
They were working on it last week.
Yeah, they worked on one, we still got more to put up there, but they want to verify with you exactly where, I think, before you do.
Yeah, we went over and we did.
You did go over.
I think the biggest one was right in front of the church, right in front of the
Center
Center for the
Arts
Arts,
for the arts.
from the intersection of Hugh and 11 to the south. And there was a couple that kept parking right there.
Yeah.
So I know Officer Compton had to go over there a few times.
I know Kristen, I think, got some cones.
Yes.
I see cones in her office. She's gonna cone it off next time, so.
We looked at it, I mean, it's pretty well signed, we just continue to put the parking tickets on there. It's a little expensive for some people.
I really hate that too.
She
Well, I
bought
mean, it's
cones to put.
well marketed.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll throw some cones out. If I have to, I'll lie down there on the road.
Let's try to.
Don't do that, because they won't see you.
I got the orange shirts. They just came in. I got the orange now. I'll be all right.
Maybe a couple more signs.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. All right. Fire inspection report. 2, pretty standard. We have to do a bunch of them here. Okay, I would entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to accept the fire inspection report as written.
No, second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Police reports. I don't even know if he's gonna want to sing tonight because he's getting ready to go fishing, so.
Oh, bro.
What, we don't have fishing in the United States? That's not very American. Not very patriotic. One thing I want to talk to you about is put it in your brain that maybe start investigating leasing our police vehicles instead of purchasing them. Why are you looking at me like that? Wish you wouldn't look at me like that, Napoleon.
No, I just been around. I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan of the lease?
No, not with the police vehicles.
Why is that?
I know
I'm curious.
Different agencies have, and it's just not.
Yeah,
Very good.
I don't, you'll have to, you can explain it to me some other time, but yeah. But I was at the mayor's conference and I sat with a couple mayors and they've all moved to leasing, so I was just curious.
Maybe because of the wear and tear on them, because like you beat them up more doing stuff, so then you have to pay for that.
No, you don't have to. So it's all based on mileage.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I just never want to get into some horror stories that I've seen there. We'll talk.
Doesn't mean it wouldn't be beneficial dollar and cents.
What's that?
If you're not a fan of it, doesn't mean it wouldn't be.
No, it's just programs that I've seen, it's never been beneficial to municipalities at all. Maybe maybe something new out there to look at.
Okay.
I'm not saying no.
I'll make a motion to approve this report. It's written.
Second.
Okay.
Tim's got that one time.
Thank you.
All in favor?
I think it was Chris that, also Kyle was on Saturday. Was he on duty Saturday? I think it's, I said Matt and then Chris.
Well, yeah, it's parking tickets. I know who's right. I know who likes to write parking tickets. Yeah, you're good, thanks. Have a good time in Canada. Catch some fish this time.
Try.
Did you see the Avengers yet?
We talked about it.
I know that you sort of saw it, but that was days ago. We
Haven't
go
seen it
last night?
again. No,
All right.
yeah, first time I saw it, five phone calls.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, recreation.
Concerts, all set up.
Right, you say that, and then maybe you're hinting that we should possibly talk about officially moving the board meetings.
It makes sense to me.
We've talked about it, and,
There's some really good acts here that
yeah,
we should see. Mike Powell, the famous lacrosse player from Syracuse, who has turned musician actually a while ago. I didn't know he's been playing for a while. He's coming down to play for us. Of course, Chris Berkeley again. Buzz is playing.
really?
Yep.
Which one of these, are you Nate the Great?
No, that's my brother.
It's actually more real country.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a country band before. I'm hoping it will bring a good number of people in. Country's all the time. Everywhere you go.
I knew people that drove out to Buffalo for concerts, so.
Does that even mean countries all around us?
I mean, it's popular around here.
Yes, it is.
Maybe not so much directly in the village, but go a mile out of town and it's country.
What do you say?
I feel
Woodchucks outside of town?
You walked into that, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very culturally sensitive. All right, so we want to move it to what, they're on Wednesdays, did we decide Thursdays?
We said Thursdays,
Okay,
that one.
did we,
The 2 months, July and August.
okay, and we're gonna post that somewhere?
We have to do the motion, but we talked about it in the work session.
Okay, let me write it down on my calendar.
You need a motion for that?
Only because in our organizational meeting, we said it would be on Wednesday, so I believe we did.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that during the music on the green days, we move our meetings to the Thursday.
so we're gonna move it, we're
After
gonna,
our second Wednesday to a Thursday,
second,
Thursday.
who's gonna second?
I'll second.
All right, Pat seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, so that's gonna put us at what? June,
26.
wait,
It's just July and
it's July and
August.
August, okay, July 11th instead of the 10th, is that correct? Okay. All right.
2 days, that's not bad.
All right, very good.
I think last year was more than that.
Yeah, somehow it went up. Well, wait, Oh, yeah, no, yeah, it's just the way it falls. All right, good. What else, Zach? Anything else going on? Start with us?
I got the second quote from Atlas fencing for Briggsfield.
Right.
It's quite large to do the entire project, but it's not necessary right now. The main projects are running the foul ball netting down for third bases, and I forgot what else I suggested. I think maybe removing the gate by the east or west entrance for that sort of purpose. But they were really good. We walked around and he showed me where whoever installed it initially did not do a very good job. For example, the outfields on, I believe every single field, the fencing there's no posts in the ground. It's basically just sitting on the grass, and that's why they're all failing. There's no cement in the ground, not even posts driven in the ground.
Fantastic.
We're gonna have to do it yourself fix for that. Thinking maybe with Mike will go over, but we'll put some braces on the backside to keep them up. We can also, there's clamps that are missing all over the place, so we can get those pretty cheap. But, yeah.
So when do you have the proposals for here? I'm just asking because they have to come to the board here to be approved.
I just got the quote.
Okay, so then I'm just thinking for planning, so bring it in next month is what we're looking at. Okay.
We should probably do this, I'm talking about the foul wall lines.
Yeah, we should do that.
They started the season, well, they tried to start the season, but
What kind of
we'll wait
numbers
another
are we
month, the
talking
season will
here?
be.
We've already hit.
What kind of numbers are we talking?
Um,
500,000?
Foul ball netting, I believe the whole foul ball netting project will be around $6,000, maybe a little less, I can't tell you that.
I'll find your email.
Yeah.
All right, so
And you want to do it in phases, or you want to do it all at
we
once?
I
want
think
3
that
and
would
5,
be
so baseball field netting posts, these are the posts that hold our foul line to cover 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
All right, so 3 and 5 combined, 5 being repair for the curling fencing on first base line, combined would be $6,565, right? No, 8. Yeah, that's right. Is that correct, Zach?
That sounds correct. I'm looking for it.
And then you said if we do all fixes except the major outfield fencing, we're looking at 11,000.
Yeah.
So,
The amount budgeted is 5,000.
right.
Is there a reserve that we can use?
There's a recreation reserve, but we would have to do a public hearing to use that. And any other adjustments we don't have in here. That's why I was trying to see if we wanted to schedule another meeting or if we.
Well, you've got the 5K, right? So you could actually do up to 5K worth of work and then do the public for the rest?
Right.
Well,
Is that possible?
Except our procurement policy requires it to be reviewed and approved anyway.
Okay.
So, sorry,
I thought that's what we were doing.
Isn't there a monetary limit for that? No?
Anything over, it's like 2,500. You're already over that.
so if we were just to accept the proposal for the baseball field netting posts,
4640.
4640,
How many posts did you get? Were you unable to get a third?
I didn't reach out directly. Do you do?
That's what we're supposed to.
Always.
all right, so then we're off the table as to the work session then. So yeah, get a third quote, we'll talk about it during the work session. If we have to, we'll advertise and call a meeting and do the hearing and all that stuff.
We definitely want to get this done.
Yeah.
At least the
That's
foul
a
ball.
safety
The foul ball
Yeah.
netting is,
So on that note, the above the concession stand, I know we wanted it for a while. Some people haven't. Insurance company doesn't seem.
Yeah, but you said it's only like $1,000,
Yeah.
right?
So
Then,
the
of
netting,
course.
the netting you can get custom made, so you can map out the dimensions. You get some carabiners, you hook the carabiners up on the fence and the hooks that are already in place. Not a big deal.
I just think it's gonna,
Portland has it.
I think it's a good
People
idea.
send me pictures of it. On a weekly basis.
I think somebody getting hit in the face, get a tooth knocked out, that's $1,000 right there. So, okay.
Do you know any other fencing companies? that we-
You checked with what, Atlas, and who's the other one?
We did Whitmore and Atlas.
I have 3 of them around.
Okay.
We'll just get together with them, and we'll get the names.
Very good. Anything else?
Rain, been.
Rain and a little bit.
Yeah, brutal.
We're Canceled Monday, Tuesday this week softball, last week we lost 2 days.
Oh, so one thing we do want to say for those watching at home, the swim lessons, which are free to village residents, sign up for that is on June 3rd. It's free if you live in the village, $10 if you don't.
I met with Bailey's Insurance today, and the only thing they brought up, 'cause you have to call each game, is to remind, they asked me to remind you, and Jim, he said he'd work with you about calling and letting him know numbers for each sport for insurance.
Very good.
Everything else is set for that, all you have to do is tell them no.
Okay, sure.
Go ahead, Tim.
Make a motion to accept the report as read.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Water billing report, this is an easy one, no issues. We're working with Cornwall to update the contract. We still need to meet with the city about that meter project, that's just gonna have to be a meeting. There's too much confusion. We reached out to Matt, no response? Okay,
I'll make the motion to accept the written. I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, water and sewer monthly reports. Buzz, what do you got, anything exciting?
Not too much. We're just doing some light maintenance on our stuff, fixing some few leaves around town. We have one up to this that we're kind of finish up on.
Is that sorted out, what to do there?
I'm pretty sure now, this service was coming off the next door neighbors, coming up their driveway.
Oh,
So let's, positive that's what's leaking because we can hear it pretty good on this. Actually, his shut off for his house is underneath their driveway.
so would it make more sense, since it has to be repaired, to run a whole new line
That's,
through his yard?
we've got it into the curb stop. We already did that.
Yeah,
The other big thing is that it should be running to the house yet, but that's one thing that we have to decide whether we're going to do it or not, because it's, we are supposed to go to the curb stop.
yeah, no. Tim, I got some bad news for you. It sounds like you got put in a water line.
Well, this is what Tandy was saying just a while ago too. Can you guys do it and just pay the village for it?
I do not know the answer to
I
that.
don't know that.
If there's something
I
in the
think you'd have to
codes and
ask.
we have a rate, then we can, if
That's a good
not,
question.
we have to look.
I don't know if we have anything in,
Do we have that for lawn mowing?
yeah. I don't think there's anything in the book for that. Do you know? Buzz, you've been here a couple of years. You know
We don't
anything?
usually do that.
Yeah.
That's always been that.
That's what like called WTO kind of thing.
And the biggest thing is liability, you know?
Yeah.
Especially a stone wall. If you get the stone wall, you knock it in, and
Oh, yeah, yeah. What kind of basement you got, Tim?
Black.
I still think he's probably called WTO or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, man.
Oh, don't be sorry.
If both houses are running off the same water line, how did you build them separate?
it's not off the same water line. It's that his line is coming, and I see why it did, because we got down there, it was a big wall. Must be the bridge used to be there years ago or something.
Oh, really?
I see why they went off the other side.
Excellent.
It's two separate lines. It's just that it's way over there, and I take it because there was a big wall there, is why they say, oh, put it over here.
Make it easier?
I mean, we ran into places like Cuba Street where they just tied off somebody else's line next door and they brought it over. You got separate meters going in, so it's not like they're running off the same meter.
All right.
And like I say, the meters, we have no meters.
You're out of meters, all right.
Are most of those lines copper, or, most of the
In
lead
older
that
sections,
replaced, I hope?
they're still steel.
Oh, steel, okay, not
Yeah,
lead,
nice steel,
okay,
like
that's
that.
good, or better, I should say.
And there's copper. The new way now is you're going to a plastic line. They last longer and it's, price is a heck of a lot different than copper.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know if that was a requirement.
Oh, you can still run copper, you want to run copper.
Well, I didn't know, I thought that might have been a requirement to get into the house from the line, so you didn't have to keep digging up and messing with your main line.
No, it's,
Okay, okay,
they've gone a long ways with this.
okay, well, you know, that's why you're the expert on that, so, okay.
Did you get my email about Center for the Arts?
Of the gravel.
I sent it today. I think, no, it's today.
Oh,
I got it.
You got it.
We'll go over it with you.
Yeah, you'll go over with them. Yeah, it's basically they've got, they got a big drainage problem over there. They're just trying to figure out what to do.
in the basement?
No, it's a parking lot.
Our driveway,
Yeah, it's a
they
runoff.
had economy paving in, he says, oh man, he says, you're gonna have water. So they gotta come up with some kind of solution for a runoff. It's a big parking lot.
So yeah, we might just see how we can tie into the storm sewer.
Corey Buzz and Phelps got it already too. We just hadn't had a chance to get to it today.
I think you're gonna put some drywall in. There's no really good place to,
There's no good place to tie into the storm sewer there.
well, there isn't out in the center of Puget Sound.
In the center of Hugo Street, there's nothing on, what is it? Hannah? No?
No, I think there's on the corner on the very end. That's the
Right.
state.
Can't you put it right in Gary's car?
Yeah. You'll have to deal with it all.
All right. Well, I'll leave it to you guys to help them come up with a solution there.
Buzz, I just have with the work that's going on with the construction on Main, with the apartments and the buildings. And I know NICEAG is looking to do a gas line behind those buildings. If they're gonna be digging that up, do we need to do any water stuff?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because, Kevin from the grocery store there, he's brought up that he'd like to put a sprinkler system in, but the cost of running line in. The only thing about a sprinkler system, we make nothing off of it. We just bring it in, it's there for it and use. I know a lot of places there's a yearly charge to keep, the line up, water there, all the stuff that goes up to that. But Renee's place up too up there, she wants to have a sprinkler system there. So if you brought one right off Pine Street, that'd be a good idea.
How much would that run us?
It's not gonna run a whole lot. There's too many things in the way. It's just pipe. I didn't mark out the footage yet, but you're probably 3,000-4,000. There's not a lot of fittings.
For discussion for our group, I mean, we've got these buildings.
I like the idea of
Sprinkler
sprinklers,
system in there.
otherwise it's a parking lot.
And if NICEAG is gonna be digging that area up anyways, the time to make a mess is once.
Makes sense.
Buzz, could you run us some numbers on that?
I think I'm pretty close with that because all it is tie into the valve and the pipe.
Right, so you're saying about $4,000?
I think about 4 or
The
5.
sprinklers are not required?
Well, it is,
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Above the
Renee's
second floor.
place, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got planned to do with his place. His idea is he's gonna lower his insurance if he has sprinklers.
Right.
So,
Now, can we do a public-private on this?
I don't know.
To help offset the cost?
Well, I would hope that they would have to chip in something. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would think. I would think it would be a private, to be honest with you. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
If they supply the materials and we do the work, something like that work out.
whatever we do, I'm trying to read the face of our attorney. Whatever we do, we would have to make sure it's a consistent policy that's applied throughout the village to anybody, right? Or else we're picking winners and losers, we can't do that.
Right.
So,
If it's $4,000 and there's 2 or 3 properties along there, they probably all ought to have sprinklers. And if they get a reduction in insurance rates, that's how they pay for it. So let's have them foot the bill first.
so I'm thinking
And you
probably,
manage W2O to make sure they don't break your pipes or something. You know, when they're digging and hooking in. It's $4,000. I mean, they got it
yeah,
for those big buildings. I mean,
do,
it's
figure out how many hours it would take you guys to do it, if you would, real quick. It doesn't have to be super accurate. Just so we can get an idea of, you know, of what it is. But I kind of personally just feel like it's the responsibility of the property owners to do this, so, you know.
I'm inclined that way also, but I also don't want to see parking lots there because they burn down.
As far as the barber's block goes, if she has people on the 3rd floor, it's a requirement of the New York State Fire Code requirement, so.
Yeah,
And she did get grant money and so
Yeah.
did 23 South Main if
Yeah,
they need it.
I'm sure they have a plan to
yeah,
put sprinklers on the.
Maybe it all needs to be updated or something down through the back there. For all of them,
yeah,
I don't know.
very good. Okay,
That's where I'm inclined to, you know.
yeah, I think so too. I do, I don't think.
So what's our buzz? You'll come up with some numbers and then we'll go to the property owners with that.
Yeah, and then we'll just maybe give them some people to call to tell them, you know, who to reach out to, and what our rough guess on what it would be.
Well, if you want a private, you know, I'm sure Doug would estimate, because he's going to have 3 man hours.
Yeah,
All that stuff.
I would say you're managing that grant project. Do we leave it to them to call Doug and get a quote, or should we? Okay, thanks.
I think we need to kind of help move this along.
Dance its hill.
Timing.
I'll talk to Bob.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the water and sewer monthly report as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Privilege of the floor. Okay, old business, new business, adjustment to vacation policy.
Okay. So the only change here, we talked about in our work session, where we would still continue prorating on January 1st, but on an employee's anniversary date, they would be eligible for the whole vacation for the scheduled move. So somebody who has not been here a year on January 1st would only get like a portion of the 5 days, but on their anniversary date, they'd get the whole 5 days. Otherwise, it's the exact same. It's just what we talked about.
It's a good thing that we're doing. It benefits our employees.
You don't take vacation half of them anyhow, I don't know.
A lot
I'm
of-
only kidding.
Yeah.
Of course they do. They need to.
They should.
Yeah, they should. It's important.
Yeah.
Right, and that's
No,
why
for their
we're
well-being.
reaffirming everyone and taking all those at that.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about.
I'm here, you guys know I'm looking down.
So I'm reaffirming everyone.
Do you need a motion for this?
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we accept the policy as written.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We did talk about this at work session in pretty much detail.
All right, authorized users for Lowe's credit card.
So some of the users are already using it and others are new.
Okay,
So for instance, Kristen and Zach aren't on the Lowe's card officially, even if it's gone through. And
right.
these are the people who are sent over to purchase things. So I'm reaffirming everyone on here.
You have any motion there?
Yes, I do.
All
I'll
right,
make a motion to authorize the users to Lowe's credit card as written.
I'll second.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, okay. All right, declaring worthless the fire hose.
There's no paper, it's just.
Okay.
something in.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Is there a motion for that one necessary?
We did
Yep.
one, yeah.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Get rid of it.
All right. Well, you guys,
I
Oh.
forgot to add something. Sorry.
Oh, too late.
Casey Field, have you made any progress on that?
That's an executive.
Okay, cool. Jumping in there. Can I hang around for that or is that? fine?
You can hang around.
yes. Okay. Garbage bids.
So we've actually only received one bid for this. I've attached the old contract and the new contract in your packet, and you'll see a memo I sent.
Yep.
I know we talked, many were solicited. I also put a listing of that on the top of your packet. Whether they were by email, phone call, mail, all of those were solicited. You will see that next year there would be no increase. And then subsequently, they're all noted in here. So the old contract is on the top. The new one is underneath it. Is this the page you're looking for in the new one? Just to help? The contracts that we're proposing will be for up to 6 years. Each year is renewable by both parties. The proposal actually on the table, because it's not a significant increase, in fact, it's the same, obviously tipping fees or whatever, is to continue as a service the way it is right now. And we can always re-examine each year as we're looking at garbage trucks and doing it ourselves. But we're not in the position right now to actually start it by March 1st.
Actually, Dee's which one, looking for numbers.
Oh, yeah, I found, yeah, I was just looking at some other. Sure. Some other,
Plus, some of you guys may be aware, I got a call from Eric Mobilehill about, the county is considering separating glass in January. And, it'll be up to us to whether we want to have it picked up by the contractor or we have people actually deliver it themselves, which is my preferred method.
Right, what we put in the proposal for any significant changes, we would meet back with the contractor. Because if we have them do it and it's a
If you don't
significant
know,
cost, we would.
yeah, it's an extra home run, so it'd be like a 30% or, 50% increase.
Yeah.
Each step there or something, yeah. Yeah, I'm not keen on that. I'm more or less let the people bring their own glass down.
Yep.
In the meantime, just chuck it in the garbage.
Yep.
Saves us money.
I think the time for residence is, according to our code, I think it's 7. Here it's 6. I know we've gotten complaints in the past about that.
oh yeah, good call. That was good.
That's a range.
I thought it did 7.
It says 7 for the pickup for Wednesday.
I have
No, that's the number of.
number of pickups.
Oh, okay, yes, you're right. But is that the time they're leaving from their shop?
And it says time for residences to be serviced would be 6 to 3. And we
Yeah.
have in our code that nothing will happen before 7. And I know when we had things happen before 7 to include our backhaul, we get complaints.
Well, we could always ask them and talk to them on that and
But-
say, and approve it with that.
But I thought our old contract with them had it at 7. That's.
Now, I have the old one right here, so we can look.
We all have the old one.
That's what I was looking for. I couldn't find it.
They don't care, 7 that, they must be leaving Syracuse at 7.
Front page of the contract.
They never start picking up until about 9 o'clock.
Well, lately it's been that way, but before they show up at my house at 6:45.
Yeah, no, I get picked up.
No,
Nine
there's-
o'clock.
I'm like, everybody.
My dog wants it.
Right, you know, I mean.
It's a lot of fun for me, yeah.
You're like, oh, it's been garbage day.
Yes.
You got it.
Please.
Lately, it's been later.
but literally like 3 weeks ago, it was still like quarter of.
Excuse me, I'd like to start with introducing myself. My name is Rocky Grosso, and I'm the owner of Syracuse Solid Waste Removal. And this is Kevin Beverin. Kevin is involved with our contracts, sales, and marketing. We both have been in the business forever. Okay. Our company, as we put in the proposal, has serviced a lot of municipalities, a lot of large municipalities, a lot of small municipalities. And we're, we're very, accommodating with service. We understand the public's, their concerns, just as you all do. And in smaller villages, in larger towns and, smaller towns, it's always been cold, at 7 o'clock. We all know that,
Right.
And we all live in cold. We all live in either town or village.
Right.
So anyways, one of the things that we've always have tried to make the village and towns understand that if we start at 7 o'clock, okay, we have no chance of getting out of the way of the school buses by 2:30, 3 o'clock. At least we have a shot to do that. Okay. Plus, we also have a shot to get dumped off. Okay. If we're starting at 7 o'clock, so we've towns and villages that have had it from 7 to 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whatever they have to get off the streets. They've allowed us to move to 6 o'clock. So I believe, I don't remember right, it was 5 years ago when we started this. I think it was in there that it was 7 o'clock, but they allowed us to go to 6, to start at 6. Okay, so one of the things that we do, I don't know if you're all aware about it or not, but one of the things that we do, we send one truck down here, they pick up the trash, okay, and then we dump off, and then we come back with the recycling material, okay? That's the way that we set this up for this, okay? In the future, we may change it where we're doing trash and recycling at the same time. Go up and dump off, come back and finish the trash and recycling, okay? So we can't dump off up to landfill till 8 o'clock anyways, okay? So, we're leaving out of our home base at 5:30. The guys come in at 5:30, we all have a meet and greet, and they're out the door. So by the time they get here, it's not 6 o'clock, right? And it would never be 6 o'clock anyway. But if we get here about 4 to 7, ideally is to get it picked up and get it picked up as efficient as possible and get off the main drags and streets. And that's what we always do. We try to stay off the busy streets and so on and so forth. So hopefully, you're not going to hold us to the carpet of 7 o'clock, and you're always going to have somebody's not going to be happy about something. You know what I'm saying? You try to if somebody's not happy with that, you make an adjustment, you go over to another street that somebody's you know what I'm getting at.
Yep.
When we actually started, when it was the carts, we put the carts in. It was you had a very few amount of people that were up in arms about the carts. I mean, there was maybe 10 people that were just hammering down. We don't like it. We don't like it. We don't like it. I think everybody's pretty happy with the cart system.
Yeah, although I think there are a lot of residents with like smaller ones, but you guys offer smaller ones, and we could,
but the ones that as long as it didn't get carried away, the ones that did want smaller ones, we probably would accommodate it. You know what I'm saying? We want to do whatever we can do to we understand. You got to please the community.
Yeah. Well, we kind of told residents, and actually, it's kind of a non-issue. We can do it again, but we actually did go out to residents and tell them you can get a smaller one if you want. After we called you guys,
right.
Just call the village and let us know. And I don't think anybody called and requested a smaller one, did they? We made it available. So
we just recently, within a year here, we did the village in North Syracuse. We had the village in North Syracuse for years. under multiple, contracts, doing, the old fashioned way.
Right.
The old-fashioned, my way. That's what I'm accustomed to.
Right.
But we now have them automated, and I mean, it's so nice. I mean, you go on the street, I mean, even your street, it's nice, and we know it's coming down here. You got carts, there's nothing being seen. There's one cart that got overstuffed a little bit, but still, it's not on the ground.
Right.
So, no, we haven't, even with the village in North Syracuse, everybody got the larger can. And then some people that wanted the smaller can, we accommodated.
Yeah. We'll work with you guys on that. Like I said, we put it out there. I thought we'd get 20 requests maybe, but I guess we really got none.
Yeah.
We might throw it out there again, but we also made it clear to them that we would make sure that they got a smaller one, but then if they wanted to go back to a bigger one, then the cost is on them. You can't just keep changing sizes.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I think we did that with the village in North Syracuse too. We said, look, if they make a change,
Right.
Because it is a cost to make a change.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I'm thinking everything is done. From what I pay attention to what's going on. I think that everything's gone pretty well in here in the village.
I'll say that I think you guys do a great job. I've been really thrilled with them. Really have. I think they're courteous. They're nice. I think the only complaints that we ever get, and it's just here and there, is where the cans get returned to afterwards. There are a couple people that are pretty particular about having them put right back where they started from.
And that's not to interrupt or
sure.
but that is policy for us.
Yeah.
That even if a customer puts their cans in the middle of the driveway,
Right.
we return them on the side. Because the worst thing in the world is for somebody to come home.
Right.
That would aggravate me too.
Sure.
It's not in the right spot. But we get turnover in help, and you get that complaint, and then we always try to make the drivers, they're the lead guys. Okay, and listen, you're watching this guy make him get out of the truck, put it where he needs to.
Got it.
So,
okay.
But you make some changes, and sometimes you don't get the right employee, or you got to correct and so on and so forth.
That's all right. We'll let you know when we hear them.
Yep.
And then and then you guys are good about not. We still have people that don't heed the fact that if it doesn't fit in the can, you can't just, there's a property right over here, they'll just line up 30 bags alongside, and we do not want you guys picking that stuff up as per the contract. You're not supposed to, and you don't, and we're fine with that. It's the landlord's responsibility to take care of that kind of stuff, so. Yeah.
So one of the things that we're gonna do, I mean, this thing, you improve this thing, it continues on. One of the things we are gonna do is we are gonna send an automated truck here. Right?
Oh, with just the arm?
Right now, we're doing it, and we've done it for it'll be 4 years.
Right.
With the conventional little truck, and we have semi-automated carts on there, and they dump them.
Right.
And we will do it in an automated truck. See, one of the reasons why we never changed is because it's tough for the landfill, dumping an automated truck in the landfill.
Oh, is it?
Okay, yeah. But we've come up with a new piece of equipment that we already actually have running in Madison County, because we dump in the landfill there.
Right.
That it doesn't tip the dump, it pushes out.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
we actually have one that will be delivered to us, brand new truck delivered to us like the second week of June.
Okay.
So we will probably at some point, get it up here and start working it.
Okay.
So
And you'll be sending just one-man teams then at that point?
It'll be just a driver.
Okay.
Just a driver, you won't have a driver in the throw room, where it'll be just a driver.
Got it.
And, we do have automated trucks now, that like I said, there's one that's working in one works in the village of North Syracuse, one works over in Madison County. We in the village of North Syracuse, we have, there are about 2,500 homes. And we have one truck that does 3 A's. And then we have another truck that works on another day with that other truck. So there's 2 trucks in one day that services it. So
how much time was required in training residents on hand placement, so that, because, in the way I'm thinking winter time.
Yeah, that's all up to us.
Right,
So,
oh, is it?
yes.
Okay.
So if the residence is, they are not putting them in the right spot, our drivers gingerly work that out. You know what I'm saying? Like the village in North Circuit, these people had no, just like you did, they had no carts. Okay, so we put the carts in there, and we had no problem with it, we make it work.
Okay.
And then, customers are, we leave them off a flyer or something like that, or we spread them. So
Okay.
every week you just spread them, and they get the message, most of them get the message.
Got it.
And then sometimes what ends up happening, if you can't spread them, then we gotta get out and move them.
And move them,
Yeah.
okay.
You understand? So,
Okay.
some people get really nervous about that type of service, but it's just, that service has been for years and years and years throughout the country. It just hasn't come, it's finally coming to us,
I think probably everybody's the same reason I am, just what happens in the snow, but I keep hearing about lots of places that have no problem, so.
And, I mean, obviously, you gotta keep them off the street with snow plows, and winters are tough, and you just gotta make it work.
That'd be a lot nicer for your guys too, not to have to be out in the elements like that, so.
Yeah, but on the other hand, people think that, okay, well, you're gonna save money doing this, but you gotta remember, now you have mechanical.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot more wear and tear on a truck, and a lot more maintenance on a truck like that. I mean, that's arm going out.
Sure.
So. But thank you for allowing us to introduce ourselves, and
I'm glad you guys came out.
Yeah, I mean, we would have actually liked to, been out here, a year ago or whatever, to introduce us, because we do that. Sometimes we try to make an announcement, want to come out to a board meeting and just introduce ourselves, ask them how the service is going, and so on and so forth. But we haven't had an opportunity. So, maybe if you guys award this and move forward, after we get the automation truck up there running it, maybe we'll call and see if we can come to a town board meeting and see how things are going.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Mike, any thoughts?
I had a couple comments. Mike Carter, Superintendent of Student Parks. I get the chance to look at the trucks. You meet your guys, you got two new guys, right? One new driver and one new guy in the back.
I think Scott has been doing it for a while. Heavy guy?
Yeah, the heavy guy's driving.
Yeah.
And a younger guy in the back now, which is a new guy.
Yeah, we might switch him once. Usually
The other kid was
the same
good.
guy, yeah.
The other kid was very good. And Hal already brought up a couple things. The trash cans are getting left out in the road when they get dumped. And of course, I get the phone calls, they get them here too.
Well,
And
here's my card. I have operations people, but here's my card.
I stopped them the other day because they had dropped a whole bunch of stuff in the road on Prospect Street, Burgett Drive. So I'd asked them to pick the stuff up. And I had one other question. If somebody forgets to put their trash can out and you get called, saying, I forgot my trash can, can you come back and get it the next day? Do you charge them?
No, we would probably, if we're coming back in there,
I mean,
we'd
if
probably
they,
get it, yeah.
just an example, the guy was in the hospital for some reason, and then his wife puts the trash out the next day. Well, she called, she says she got charged $75.
I don't know about that. I'll find out though.
Yeah.
I want to know if we ever charged somebody $75.
Right.
It's hard for me to believe somebody would pay $75, but.
Well, she did.
She did?
So she told me.
Okay.
Okay, now, I asked her to produce a check or some kind of proof, so, but anyway, she said she got charged. She was a little upset about it. And the only other thing was, the trash cans in the road I just told you about. If they drop glass.
Our policies are supposed to take it up. So if you're not getting any satisfaction out of the driver, if you're not getting any satisfaction out of our
Driver is
operations
okay.
people, then
The kid in the
you
back
have my
was
number,
new.
you call me.
Okay.
Okay.
How about some of the vacant houses in the village, that the trash cans are left, and obviously you're not picking up any trash. You guys pick the trash cans up?
If there's customers that are no
They're not
longer
getting
using it.
used. Okay, I got 9 Albany Street, I'm showing it should have 4 trash cans, they don't have none. I mean, the book that I got with your
Is it
serial numbers
vacant
on
house?
your trash cans, 9 Albany Street.
9 Almond Street is not occupied?
It is now. And they don't have any trash cans, so I'm on, did you pick them up is what I'm after. Anyway.
I don't know, we'd have to check that out.
Who were they occupied with? Were they,
I'd have to go back at the office. I don't have it all in front
So
of me.
how are they getting their trash picked up?
They're just setting it out there in the bags right now.
And our guys are picking it up?
And you guys are picking it up.
Right.
They called a couple weeks ago, because I
You
took the
got her
call.
phone number, I think.
Probably not anymore, because I once
Well,
I
anyway.
emailed it up.
So
But I do
I've
know
got
it
a couple
happened.
others too over in my office that have called, they don't have any trash cans, and that's why I'm asking, are you picking, if residence has been vacant, have you picked the trash cans up?
I mean, I don't
You don't
know.
know.
I would know, that would all be coming through
Yeah, we
the
don't
clerk's
call
office
you
in our
with any.
operation, so and we'd have to go back and find out what was picked up and what wasn't picked up, and that would be, if we were to pick it up, it would all be through your office.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
this
we
is how-
don't have any.
Honestly, we have, as long as I've been here, we have called you to say, come pick this up. But
So it's mostly, we're trying to figure out, did you guys pick them up or did they get stolen?
Right. Yeah.
We wouldn't pick them up unless you asked.
Yeah, and we did calls.
Yeah, we haven't called.
And what would happen is there'd be a work order out for that specific address through the
Right.
operations department. You gotta pick up those cards. If you're a subscription customer, like we have subscription customers in different areas that we do with through Onondaga County and Madison County, if you're moving out of the area, there's a work order done, your account's canceled, and obviously the bill isn't sent, but then there's a work order to generate for our trucks. What we have, if you look at the carts, there's a hot stamped ID number. on it.
That's correct. All of them.
So we will find
ID.
stuff where someone will call and say, I'll go to a commercial account, there's a cart there. So write the cart number down. Well, that thing is, it's in, seriously, New Hartford, it's supposed to be in East Syracuse. But somebody moved. and
Right.
They like our,
Well, they
equipment,
took-
so our equipment went there,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is more than.
I'm sure it does.
So one of the things that we're gonna be doing too is I have a person that, is on a task force, for our company to, reach out to different villages and get reacquainted to, first, we're structuring some routing and stuff like that, so we'll be reaching out to you. If you guys go forward with us, we're gonna be reaching out to you and get a better working relationship, with, routing and so on and so forth, and any other issues that we got. So,
I do have a list of people that do want smaller trash cans.
Oh, do you have a list?
They seem to call my garage, which is okay, but we had walked over this at one point, so I just didn't bring it up again.
Okay, so I guess what we need out of from you, Mike, is a list of the places that don't have any,
Correct.
and a list of the places that want smaller ones.
Got it.
And then we just have to make them aware of the fact that if they want to go back to bigger ones, cost is on.
Yeah, I caught that part too.
Obviously, a customer that, somebody moves in on Main Street, and our collections are done, our car can't get there right away, even through that day. Our guys are told to pick that stuff up. But two things, we need to do it from an operational standpoint.
Right,
Hey, somebody's back at 6 Main Street, we
right.
gotta get carts out there, that's our job. At the same time, we're getting information from you guys. from the
Yeah.
Village clerk saying, we've got new residents, what's the delivery date on that?
and I think what's happening is these guys, which they shouldn't be doing, if they're picking it up without a cart, they shouldn't be picking it up. It's a lack from the driver, it's a lack from our operations person, and that's why I have that person I'm telling you, she'll get honest and she'll straighten that out, so, because if they should not be picking that up.
And that, right. And that person is gonna be our direct point of contact for any issues with you guys.
No, it'll be our operations person, but she's gonna get it all set up. She's gonna get our operations person, tuned up a little bit.
Okay,
You understand?
all right,
And then the operations, the call will come in our operations supervisor, manager, that they handle their residential.
got it.
Okay, and we have two people that handle that. There's another female, it's not this other female, it's more the organizer.
Got it.
Okay,
All right.
she's one of the staff that I've had, that anytime I get a contract, I just give it to her and say, well, she did the village in North City. Get the contract ready to go, and she deals in the beginning of it. So she's going back to some of the old contracts that we have and re-looking at it and looking for holes.
Okay,
So,
got it.
so,
I will say I think it was last week, or possibly the week before, there was a resident that exactly the same thing, didn't put their garbage out and called, they did go pick it up the next day, because I called, so.
I don't
And there was
know, I don't
no
know if they
issues,
charge.
they
Was that my mother?
I don't know, no, I don't think so.
I know this has happened to her once. No special treatment for my
If it
mom.
happens on a Thursday.
Yeah.
you know, and we're already gone,
Yeah,
Right.
chances are we're not
no,
gonna.
no, yeah,
If they happen on a Wednesday, there's no reason why we can't scoot around and
Right,
let somebody
right,
get off, you know what I'm saying? And there's, you know, with no charge, you know.
yeah.
So,
I think that you guys have been good about that. They kind of, I think they're aware of it
Yeah.
when they see it and they do it without
Or
being
if we
asked.
know, we call
Yeah.
because someone called us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so,
Okay, great, well, appreciate it. And,
Thanks for being our pilot municipal contract for cards. Because you guys seriously.
oh, were we really?
Yeah, so realistically, I mean, we're trying to induce this everywhere we go,
Yeah,
whether it's 500 or 15,000.
right,
Was a success story here, is shared with different departments, and this is where we're going to go. We're going to be totally automated at some point.
right,
It's been proven. We have right now a trailer park in Liverpool. There's 500 units, and these are cul-de-sacs. And what I'll do is, when we get some information down, I'll show you a clip of this truck if you want to see it. Okay, so the driver knows what he's doing.
Right.
Between cars and people in the cul-de-sac. Okay, there's usually 6 trailers.
right,
He's moving this thing around with minimal moving back and forward
right,
and getting carts. It's surgically to watch
Yeah.
our guys do this. So when you get this card here, you're in for an experience.
all right.
Starting with you, thank you.
Yeah.
And second, being a former member of a board for 18 years, still involved in the zoning, I appreciate every one of you. So thanks for what you can do, because it's hard. So I just moved outside the building, that's what I'm not doing.
On the car system, just so you know, bring you guys up to speed, as Kevin was saying, you were actually the first one, as he said, okay? And then Town of Camillus, was the second, and the Village of North Syracuse was the third. So there's gonna be more coming. We do the Town of Manlius, they're gonna end up doing it, eventually.
So the nine
We
like
do,
trash.
we do the Town of Cicero, they're gonna do it. All our subscription business that we have
Yeah,
is all automation now. It's all 2 carts automation.
yeah,
And it's, you know, it's just, once the public has it, they love it.
I do,
It's,
I love it.
It's beautiful, so.
Your streets look really nice, and we're garbage guys, we look at containers all day long, we
Yeah.
go behind buildings, look at things, but really the aesthetic value, when you think about
Yeah.
it, the order of the fit of that, it's in the cart, makes a lot of sense. And trust me, 95-gallon cart, you know, whenever you've got kids, you can put a lot of garbage in.
yeah.
But anything above and beyond that,
Yeah,
we need extra carts, and we need more money for that, so.
yeah.
But thank you.
Well,
Thanks for giving us the opportunity, and hopefully we can continue this relationship.
Really appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, thank you very
I didn't bring that
much.
many cars with it.
Oh,
This guy.
I'm always, 24/7.
okay.
I
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
So safe drive home. You know, we're on, we go on vacation. Take us home.
Okay. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
thank you.
Drive safe,
Yeah.
Very good.
So are we going to look at the proposal to continue, or do you want to table?
I think,
I would like to table it for discussion at the work session. You have a long time before you have to sign this.
I'm okay with tabling it to.
Executive?
But the doors go too far out, and the numbers creep up, so that's all.
It goes up 1.8% a year, average. You know, they do it like every other year with 3%. When you do the 5 years, it comes out to be 1.8% per year growth.
So it's on a 1-year deal, right? I mean, you can
Yeah,
renegotiate after 1 year.
Well, the thing is, even if we order trucks, the reason I looked at continuing this at least for a year is we're not equipped, ready to jump right into the garbage business.
Really?
And our guys, that's why I asked Mike to come and talk. There's a building we would have to build to house them, or some other thing that we would have to decide, along with getting them and training everybody, but we have a lot of projects on the table. And purchasing trucks, we have some other things that we have to talk about in executive that we haven't made decisions on. So committing the dollars might not be the best idea until we know every direction we're going.
That's
We
why
have
I
Route
wanted to
11.
table it.
Right, well, that's why we were suggesting continuing this for another, giving us time if we chose to go into the garbage business to buy a truck and them to learn, to build a place for it to go. And then we would
When
actually,
you're looking at saving over $85,000 a year by doing it yourself and taxes and all this other stuff that we're trying to go into the toilet.
we can't be ready by March 1st.
You gotta be kidding me.
Where are we gonna put them at?
Of course.
I mean,
I don't care.
Tammy?
Yeah.
We can discuss this at
An
the work session.
Right,
And
exactly,
vote
In
if
June.
we think that we are ready to vote in June.
exactly.
So we're not gonna vote on
No,
this
that's why I brought it forward, that's all.
Right,
That's
so,
the proper way to do it.
and besides that, we gotta get this out so our residents can provide us feedback
Yep.
on their thoughts.
Exactly.
So I make a motion that we accept the contract to review and move forward from there.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Well, there will be left.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor? Okay,
So we know it's on our work session agenda.
front and center on the work session, you guys probably, that's more than me.
Yeah.
Walkable homework grant? So for that, we have any? And the issue is,
Just tailed off a week. Lack, no TAP money, so
Yeah.
that fell through. So we go on to 50/50 grants. Miranda's, I'm sorry.
oh, no, I was just gonna ask, what's our timeframe? I mean, do we have a couple of years? Does it
Yeah, they-
happen this year?
I think I know Amanda and her group would like to see it happen pretty quickly. It's not imperative to probably start this year, but, well, there's a lot of information they need from us with regards to the labor hours and fringe and everything else. We need to put together a document package that says, this is our match, this is what composes our match. And so it's a lot of work for it.
Rainbow.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, good sign.
Hey, Mike, have any of those grants come through for a new salt shed or any of that kind of stuff?
So my gut, or my instinct is, if we have the time to wait on this, we can go for another round of TAP C. And Jay's gonna do, I ran into Jay at the mayor's conference, he's gonna do the debrief with the feds and find out what the hell happened. And I really just think a 50/50 match is not gonna really excite a lot of people right now.
Though I had a couple of people that, this is just small anecdotal, but, oh, 50/50, yeah, I'm gonna get you. That's just, that's very small.
Yeah, I mean,
Sidewalks, or what are we talking about here? I can't hear you.
Walkable home or sidewalks?
maybe.
Well, it's 80/20 in the city. They only give you 20%, or the owner has to do
The
80.
structure of this grant.
Yeah,
It's
this
50/50.
one.
It's 50 on us to a match that we need to give. And what composes that match, that's obviously for us to determine, but it's a 50/50, so we're not getting a lot. Not a lot of bang for our buck.
How big is the grant? 100,000?
400,000, right?
200,000.
200,000?
Yeah.
So we would have to come up with 100K?
We would have to come up with 200,000, a dollar for dollar match.
Oh, so it's 200 they would put up, we put up 200 also.
And it said it needed a cash match for most of it, I think all of it. but
That's
whatever
the best
we
they can get.
No, there's a lot, we can do a lot of in-kind labor for it, but yeah,
Well-
there's gonna be some cash.
Maybe, if you want to find out, from them,
Maybe.
if we can do a little bit at a time, if we have to go right into it, because maybe if we have 4 people that say, I'll do 50/50, then we can do those and then hold off on the rest until we go through another round for TAP C.
I kind of like the idea, because that really makes Homer. I would put off everything else.
Put off the garbage cans,
All
put
that
off the
stuff,
garbage,
yeah.
put off the dome, put
Sidewalk,
off everything,
yeah, I would.
and put in
Sidewalks and trees,
put
absolutely.
in 4 blocks of sidewalks and call it a day.
Yeah. It's 200K. Nobody is gonna spend all that money. I can guarantee you won't get hardly anybody using it, but it's available.
I guess I don't understand what your Are you suggesting?
It
we
costs
put-
$1,000 for one of those little 4x4
Yeah.
areas. And so that means somebody has to cough up $500, and we would cough up $500. Aren't a whole lot of people gonna do that? Especially if our codes guy doesn't find them.
Yeah, but I'm confused then for what you're advocating for.
I'm saying we should do it.
What does
that's the
we should
grant.
do it mean? Does
The
it, we should
village
do it mean
should,
that we put in the 200,000?
Yeah, or offer it up. You'll never use it, I don't believe. But they might. There's a lot of sidewalks that need help.
Or, we have a grant for 200,000. The village is required to match that 200.
Right.
So that would be the complete price. So I guess I don't understand why no one would avail themselves of that if we've now just made it free for them.
I didn't say free, they have to kick in 50%, you said.
The village
I'm
has to
good.
kick
I'm
in
confused
50,
here.
Yeah,
not the resident.
the grant is a 50-50 proposition. We get 50 funding from the state, and the other 50 is on us. How we structure our.
Oh, and then it would be free to the.
Well, that's what your
Okay, I
proposal
thought
was
it
to
was
make
like
it free.
50-50. Somehow we would do the 50
And
along
also
with
the
the
grant,
grant, and then the individual would kick in
and the
50%.
grant is written to do specific sidewalk areas for the promotion of walking, for safety of students, promotion of walking, as far as.
Okay, I got it.
Green
now.
infrastructure, things like that, that's what.
I thought
it
the
is.
homeowners were kicking in 50% also.
No.
Well, no, this is what we have to decide. Is the village gonna put any money into this? Or are we gonna offer it to the homeowners saying, we got a grant that covers 50%, you put in that 50% and you get a new sidewalk?
That's what I thought.
And that would take us out of it.
And we'd have no money invested.
But we might have to do so much as a minimum getting the grant, so we'd have to verify we could do that.
Right, and there's also parts of this,
We have sidewalks anyhow, we need that, we own that, we have to fix it anyhow.
And part of the grant fees cover an oversight and it says management and design, so we would have to put in some dollars no matter what. Whether it's our cash, whether it's our salary for our guys though that are doing it,
Okay.
which counts. Because as long as it says non-elected.
yeah.
We just have to find out if the whole thing has to be used.
One of the reasons that the CNY Regional Planning Development Board wants to move on it is that they did a low-cost application for us, provided they're the administrator of the grant. So they're looking to get their grant administration fees, which is
Exactly.
why they want to move quickly on this. But I'm just saying, if we can wait, go through another round of the federal grant process, get federal sidewalk grants, which can be used as a match on these.
Well, we could table this to the work session because the timelines are in the grant gateway contract, but it's down.
Okay.
So even though we can ask her, like,
Yeah.
I know Dan will ask, we can check in here
Yeah.
too, because I saw it as the beginning up there, not the
All right.
total thing, and it was,
I believe it's 2022.
yeah, so
Okay, so
you
that's
can
a
at
million
least see the
years.
date.
We got plenty.
Well, here's the $1 million question. Let's say we did kick in the 200 grand right now and go forward with this, well, to make it free for the residents. How much sidewalk is that gonna repair?
Not very much.
Yeah,
No.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Not very much. And there's no way that we're kicking in the money.
No.
Because it
I'm
says again,
just
that's
curious
picking
how
winners
much-
and losers too.
I'm just curious how much sidewalk that's gonna repair. Is basically.
I don't know, a couple blocks.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah.
$1,000 a section.
To me, that's just not worth it.
Yeah, so I just.
400 sections or 375 or whatever.
Is it really $1,000 for each square now?
Just about.
For 4 feet?
Yeah, I remember back in the day, it used to be like $300.
Well, and don't forget, that's just the square, you select people's time and stuff to put in that.
You gotta put the little square in, there's usually 2 guys in the cement truck and blah, blah, blah.
Speaking of,
Dig it up, frame it, pour it,
Level
then
it.
re-level it.
now you can do it really quick and crappy, like
Yeah.
And
DDS
anything
is
that goes
doing it.
over a driveway is supposed to have
Well-
mesh in it, it's supposed to be 6 inches.
Phil's doing some
Those
fast
forty
talk,
more.
and with DDS, we're gonna pull some of them where they just laid right over the roots.
okay, good,
We want them pulled and we wanna cut the roots.
good, okay, good,
I'm sure I'll go cut the roots for them.
good. All right,
We have made it quite plain to them, we want them all changed.
Yeah, don't give them any.
and don't let them do the corner of, North William and,
That's being cut out,
is it?
yes.
Are they gonna cut it or are we cutting it?
That I haven't figured out.
All right, but it will get cut out.
One way or the other, we're gonna.
It's nice, actually, it's a nice 3 sections, so if anything, we can just pull them out and do a little repair with blacktop around if we have to.
Okay.
Which we'll probably end up doing anyway, but.
All right, I just won't be able to face my neighbor if we don't get that. Plus, we'd be out of compliance. We gotta do it. All right, so we'll table this for the board meeting. We'll talk some more about that. Work session, sorry. This is the board.
You have your work session, can you invite us to the trash deal?
You are always invited to
No,
all
work
of it.
sessions are always open.
The next one is
30th.
the 30th.
May 3rd?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It sounds like your department will be here a little bit, so
You're out of town,
I would
yeah.
plan a while.
Fishing?
Yeah, I'll be here for that, so.
But I would guess you'd be here a bit, because there's a couple things now.
I don't, my next down.
So how much would a pole barn cost?
A what?
A pole barn for a truck?
I don't know. Ed.
20,000?
We'll talk about the work session.
Right, let's
get out of
We
here.
could have him get costs or figure costs.
We have a building, we just have, the salt shed, you would just have to modify. The biggest thing we're gonna need is a salt shed building. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm hoping we can get a grant to get you a bigger, newer one. That's
So we gotta put in for that because,
like the.
I just
like the
came
town
from,
has.
some things and they're saying there's money for salt sheds like nobody's business right now.
Yes, I have, yes.
Any of the waterfront protection stuff, yeah. So if you, whatever you need us to do, or just let us know, you'll work with Dan. Okay, good.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, because they did outline that as one of the things.
I'm okay with the garbage trucks, you guys, just so we understand, but we just gotta pre-plan.
That's fine. I don't have any problem taking have to do it right. The other thing that they said there was tons of money for, and I don't know, we've already got one, is back trucks. I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
Yeah.
Buzzy's big back truck needs to be replaced. That's a 2000.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, they basically said that, any back truck application they get gets approved.
There's a $500,000 truck right now.
Yeah.
Good thing you stuck around, Buzz.
Okay. What now?
What agency?
All right, let me look, as I wrote it all down.
See, Buzz, I don't always talk bad about you.
If I don't find it immediately, I'll go through my notes.
Like putting in for the grant, that takes
Yeah.
a while.
Like Empire State.
So that's where I was getting, I think we should. But
Absolutely.
they take like, isn't it almost like 80?
EFC says they have more funding than they have ever seen in their careers right now. For anything that has to do with water stuff.
Oh, let me get a list started.
Yeah, I mean, they said it's crazy, and there's ones that we want to look at are the, let's see. WIA, and there's some planning grants as well, then there's the green infrastructure stuff. Let's see, DEC also said best time I've ever seen for water funding. The non-agricultural non-point source planning grant is new. That's up to $30,000 just for planning stuff.
Maybe this is where we should get an electric one that's not so noisy.
Right? I'll have to look. One of these. Yeah, I'll look. It might be in their
We'll have it parked
slideshow.
behind the rec building.
So yeah, we'll apply for that and see what we get.
2001.
Yeah, all right, well, that's good to know.
So get quotes, we need 3 quotes if we're gonna start for as many as we
Yeah, I
can.
will definitely apply for that.
Oh, we can come up with 3 quotes on that one fast.
Okay, anything else? Dante, you got anything for us?
Yeah, two things. The Caraway Hill Road petition we talked about at the work session.
Right.
We're required to act on that. I didn't know that didn't make it.
What do we need to do?
We have to put it on our ballot, the next ballot, or we can hold a special election.
Can we just put it on? See you guys.
Close.
Yeah. You guys could escape. Oh, Buzz, you could
I'll just stay
escape.
here for this morning.
So we have to put it on the ballot.
So that would go on the November ballot.
That would be the easiest way to do it. You could also have a special election, but that's silly and expensive. And then
Okay.
if we vote for it, we'll have some requirements of Secretary of State. We have to give them a map and a certified copy of
What
the,
an ordeal.
What, yeah.
yeah. But we were properly presented with the petition
Okay.
from the town, so we do have to.
Well, all right.
If we could put it on our June meeting.
Can you add it to your list to, oh, we gotta put it on the June meeting for what?
To just put it on the ballot to vote a resolution.
I would think we could vote right now to vote a
Okay.
resolution
Yeah,
on the
that'd be
ballot. I don't have any problem with that. You guys have any issue with that? No?
There's no people that live there. The town voted.
This is the one that we've been trying to let the town have
Yeah.
back
I'll make a
for.
motion that we put it on the ballot.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Yeah, the discussion is the state's making this uncommonly
Yeah, it's
difficult,
ridiculous.
and it's ridiculous for these.
Wait a
people.
minute, we're asking for money from those same guys.
So that is,
Different departments.
Oh, different departments.
Yeah.
No, it's not. the
Dante,
town.
can you get
Well, it's the
the
state.
language that we would need?
I emailed you the petition during the work session, but if you don't have it, let me know and I'll send it back to you.
Okay.
Okay.
We do have specific language. It has to list, I think, the assessed value. I mean, there's a couple of different things.
It's, it sounds like a
Just
terrible,
outline that, outline that in a quick email, all right, so we can talk to the board of elections.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just re-forward that email that I sent because it lays it all out on the petition.
Yeah.
we just need the blurb that goes on there, and it won't be, I mean, they're already pretty much thinking that they're gonna have to break out the village into, for voting, because,
We got a lot of issues.
well, also because we moved to November, and because of the way the lines are drawn with the legislative districts and everything, there's no way to separate certain things out, so they're gonna have to have everybody in the village vote, you know, same locations, but they're just gonna have to have more tables and stuff.
Okay.
Separate ballot.
Yeah, separate ballots.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, well, that's the issue, because, you know, we got town people that are,
Village and town.
yeah,
Portland.
yeah, all sorts of things going on.
Okay. I'm speaking to Don tomorrow about that petition and the River Street property that's owned by Ripley Trust, but we can talk about that in executive session along with the Casey stuff.
Got it.
The other thing was, Kristen put this on her list, the Cortlandville water contract.
Right.
We have a draft of it. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It goes from about 6% to I think like 22 or 24%, so that's good. And we also had a provision where we can re-examine it every year, either municipality can.
Okay.
So I'm good with it.
You're good with it?
I told Kristen to get with Buzz just to talk to him about the water piping, and I don't really know the formula they use. It's pretty complicated how they figure out the linear feet.
Yeah.
But I think we're okay.
You're okay with it?
Yes.
Do you know if she talked to Buzz about that yet?
Not really, no.
I guess we'll just wait and have to put that on the next.
Yeah, and the Cortlandville, we've been out of contract with them for about 15 years, so.
The only issue in
No
the
rush,
contract
no
is
rush.
it uses budgeted numbers, but the budgeted numbers don't break up what's theirs and ours, so I told her we should be using actual numbers doing it after.
Okay,
And because I can't tell you from the budget what is Cortlandville side and what is ours.
okay,
The budget as a whole, what happens is as he goes in and does repairs, I know what streets, and Buzz
Okay.
can tell me what's Cortlandville.
so what do you propose we change it?
I
to
would change that to actual
Actual?
instead of budgeted.
Okay.
The first quarter could be billed as a budget, as an estimate, and then adjusted because of the timing of our accounts in AUD, or it can just be later than normal.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at the agreement again, because.
That was my only issue with
Yeah.
it, because, and I've said this from the beginning, because, his budget is the whole sewer
Right.
system. And I'm like, there's salaries in there that aren't even working on it. And so we have to break that out on who actually works on it each time.
Yeah. We could
It's not
probably-
hard once we do it the first time.
Yeah, put a mechanism in to do it at the end.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That's not too difficult. Those were the only two things I had.
Yeah, and then this way, if any of our sewer projects that we're doing, I know there's a big project that we're planning with Buzz. If any of that is involved, it would go into it. Because, and right now, we would be paying for all of that if it is.
But we would do it on like a per.
Yeah.
When you're.
So the construction is 0 right now because there is no bonding in it for that. But if some of the area is, that would go back in
But we wouldn't know that until we're done.
until the project is done and come up with it. That's why I was saying actual.
Okay. That shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, it's just changed the one word.
I'll send it out. Well, I'll talk to Kristen and see where she is because I want us to look at it, but I'll send it over to Gordon Attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I had.
All right. Tim, you got anything?
Not today.
Ed, you got anything?
I was gonna ask Tim how the LED lights are coming.
Yep.
Good.
We gotta reach.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, we gotta reach out to Casey again and get down here for the meeting about the intelligent city design stuff still.
Yeah, because I'm just worried we're gonna get passed on this free Wi-Fi part. They're just gonna stick these things up.
Well,
Good
they're not
lights.
deploying as fast as,
I know.
they're really not going that fast. Syracuse is gonna get them, but they're gonna be way out in front of everybody else. By the time they would naturally come to the Village of Homer, we've got a couple of years, but we won't wait. I want to reach out to whoever Syracuse is bringing in and see if they'll do it
It's
here
the
too.
backbone and where you're gonna put it and how would you do it? So it's not, whoa, here it is, what do you got? You got 30 days to come up with a plan and we don't want to do that. We want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right, just bugging you.
Yep.
I know you're on it. Yep. Just for the record.
Kevin, what you got?
Just stuff that's gonna be in executive session.
Roger that.
Yeah, I had two things. One was, with the Noah's Ark worth of rain. We had the planning board meeting in the community building and that one entrance is.
Oh, jeepers. I remember that from voting last time.
So that came and I was gonna hit up Mike about that. I don't know, maybe we can get some of that foam stuff underneath it.
I don't know, have you looked into that? Lift the whole thing up? We'll lift up the
Concrete
community building
only.
with it.
It's concrete.
We'll lift the whole building.
Don't work on dirt.
So I guess maybe we'll put that on the work session.
But I was, one of the recommendations was just to kind of dig out, put some pipe, and put it in a dry.
Drywall, French
dry
drain,
well,
all
French
that.
drain or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I figured let the experts
Right.
deal with that.
That is a terrible mess. Yeah.
And then, the other thing too is with, Dan, we haven't heard anything about from municipalities with fire contracts. Them to notify us that they want to do this again. But because this happens like every 5 years and
Right.
turnover,
Right.
I'll get back on the horn.
Dan made a preliminary call to just to give them a friendly nudge,
Got it.
and we haven't heard anything back yet.
Okey-doke.
Okay.
Edward.
I'd like to, want everybody to know I have a cable commission meeting Monday morning at 10 o'clock at Simply Suite.
I will be very interested to hear.
And that should be interesting because the lady who goes by with the email of Mike, but I don't judge, is going to tell me all kinds of stuff that is going on. So
Good.
So I'll feed that back here. And we
Good.
make about $50,000 a year in cable fees. So this is significant for our budget, and I believe the town gets some money still out of it.
Yeah.
The town's allowed to put a representative on too, that one's actually empty too, just because we saw ours was since you mentioned it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna meet with her at
Okay.
Simply Suite at 10 o'clock, so, Monday.
The town might actually have two, I can't remember, somebody else has two and we only have one, when I looked at the requirements.
Fred, I think Kevin Williams was saying that he was kind of bored. He might like that.
He used to be on.
Oh.
Well, if he wants to join us at 10 o'clock at Simply Suite.
So
We're trying to do something for the board, besides being a promotion.
Oh, you do.
Any other updates from you guys? Fred?
Are we gonna do the parade together like we did last year?
I would like to.
How many?
So I would like to bring my nephew with me. So it'd be me and him, and then I don't know who else wants to go on the parade.
It's May
I'll be
31st. I won't be here.
It's,
I always do it.
is it the Sunday or the Monday, Fred?
It's Monday.
It is the Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's right on the day
It's the
then.
Monday that we celebrate Memorial Day.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll bring my nephew.
I honor my.
I will have candy this year. I'm already planning it.
You're the only one? You and your nephew? Or-
I'll be there too.
Right, so-
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm 50/50, I'm waiting to find out about scheduling issue.
I'll tell you that, it's a good parade. If you've not been in it, it's a good parade, and the ceremony at the cemetery is fantastic.
Yeah.
Even in the pouring rain.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, there's been some times that it hasn't, so lately they've been excellent.
Yes.
Well, I've been to two, and they've both been great,
Yeah.
so that's all I can speak to, but yeah.
So, all right, that's what I needed. I
Yep.
should have asked that earlier, and
You didn't stay to the very end just to ask that question, did you? Or are you just soaking up the glory of the new boardroom?
Just the
You
fumes.
could have interrupted at any time and asked that question, Fred.
no, it did me good to stay.
Yeah,
So I'll work on getting something that's big enough. That little cart that the horses pull probably wouldn't accommodate all of us, so.
whatever you did last year was great. Was it that hay wagon that, was it Mike Park's hay wagon?
That's right. 2 years ago was the horses. So last year was the heck tractor and wagon.
Yeah,
All right.
that wagon was real good, yeah. Had the benches and all that stuff.
That's right. I forgot about that. I was thinking it was horses, but you're right. It was the Mike Park's wagon.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Fred.
Fred.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be around tomorrow, Fred?
Probably later in the afternoon.
Okay, and I need to talk to you about the heat in the air. So I turned everything off because it was too hot for the meetings. I just want to hope that's okay. I turned it all off, but I think it's off. So do you know how to program it all? Because it looked like I tried to adjust it, but I couldn't. So I just wanted to get a little debrief of how to just actually work this, high flute.
You're asking the wrong person.
All right, I don't know, these guys just said it then and maybe didn't tell anybody how to use it, so.
Well, I'll try to make a phone call in the morning to Mark Barinello and have him come up to educate people
That
because
would be greatly appreciated, thank you.
I'm pretty easy for me to play stupid on something like that. So, but,
Thank you, thanks, sir.
so, all right.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Thanks, Fred. I make a motion that we,
Well, I was gonna tell you guys about, well, it's also really for the minutes, but the first one's for the minutes. We had our first economic development committee meeting Friday. I thought it went fairly well. There's a lot of background that we had to give to the people about what we're working on to get them ready. There's some emails I know that I need to get in there and respond to, create the Google Doc, but people are interested, and I think we're gonna start hearing back. We've scheduled our next meeting is July, I think, or did we schedule it for June, Ed?
Jeez, I don't know. I know we did.
I want to say we went up to July, but we might not have.
by the way, thanks for sending those documents about the small villages and,
Yeah, that was all part of this kind of thing.
yeah, that was a good read.
Oh, it's the 9th from 5 to 7, Tuesday, July 9th.
July 9th, 5 to 7?
Yeah.
I'll write that down in my book. How did I not write that down? Okay.
Day before board meeting.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore, right?
Okay.
Bam, board.
The other thing is I met with the beautification committee the following Saturday. So we finalized our sign choice. And I'm getting the specs from Cindy Teeter so that we can put the RFP, I think she's gonna help us put the RFP together. We're gonna go to RFP.
Too complicated, I hope.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, we
Too
want,
wordy?
no, not too wordy, but we want to get, quotes for both just the production of the signs and then the installation, you know, and then we'll see if the installation costs are too much, that we might just do it all ourselves. Let's see.
We have something we can post on the website for people to see.
Yeah, I will do that. I gotta get the final,
Draft.
yeah, from them. Just beautification. Okay, so we're gonna do signs 90 West, Lighthouse Hill, 11 North, and 11 South. So that's just replacing the existing ones. 281 North and South, and then the exit from 81 on to 11. Because 281, we will
In
look
front of
at,
Stanley, basically.
yeah, and then I talked to Don about that, and we can landscape that to make it look nicer, so we gotta put together something with that.
Now, didn't you say before that there's a couple of signs were in the wrong position? We're
Yeah,
gonna
they
correct
are.
that now, right?
They're in the town, not the village.
Yeah.
There's one that's, yeah, there's one that's in the town, there's one that's way up in the village, you know, it should be but down by where the toll eyes is, and it's right before the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think the other ones are relatively close. So, yep, so we'll have an RFP, completed, that we can put out, we can vote to put it out at the June meeting, open bids and accept at the July meeting. And then, part of the contract will stipulate the work will be complete by November 1st.
Before flat plan per sign.
That is correct. That's what I have down here. It's
35,
about
40K at
about
least.
5,000 per sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Let's see.
Plastic.
Other good news, the tree study folks are ready to go again. So we can't get tree grants in the village if we don't have a tree study complete. A tree study was partially completed. Mike's back, he wants more.
Did I leave my phone in there?
No, that might be your water, but. Is that your
No,
water?
that was, what's his name?
Oh,
Do you have an iPhone?
Didn't we have some questions for Mike?
Pat had some.
Yeah, the front of the community building, all the rain, and again, that front entrance.
We're gonna dig some of that out, yes.
Okay.
Look like a drainage situation like what we're talking. Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay.
Say curses, it came in.
Yeah. So the tree study got interrupted before when they were doing it. They're partway done. It's free to us, which is an incredible service. He has got the professor, Stephen Broyles from Cortland. He's got 18 students ready to go this September and October. And he will report out to us with a completed tree survey in December. There's no cost. We've got some things. One, we got to inform the public that they're going to be doing this. No problem. Two, let's get them some nice shirts made, right? It's a co-branding thing of SUNY Cortland, whatever class it is, in the Village of Homer, some of the high-vis ones. That was sort of one of the things that they were a little bitter about last time, is that the village didn't really do anything for them. You know, the students are doing all this work, and we didn't even give them like a t-shirt. So get them a couple of t-shirts so that when they're out there doing it, they look official and people understand what's happening. And then buy them lunches when they're doing it. I don't think that's a big.
Too much to ask.
Really, I don't think it is
Especially when
either.
those trees are so expensive and you
Yeah.
can get them, yeah.
And once the tree survey's
All
done, we
for
can
it.
start applying for all these tree grants. So, all right, so that's starting. Oh, that's one for Mike left. That's one for Mike left. We got some stuff to talk about the alleyway. Oh, the property owner is here of Dante's Alley.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about putting in a non-permanent lattice structure just to cover up, like, I think there's the part under the stairs and then there's the part where the meters are. And it would be something like, we just basically get a 4x8 piece of lattice and mount it, frame it, and then mount it on some solid wood so that it could be, put in storage in the wintertime. And
What, the stairs going up to their apartments?
yeah, I think there's like an underneath the stairs part that would just sort of block that out. But it would be movable, easily movable.
Okay. Yeah, I actually need to redo that porch this summer. It's on the list, but I don't know how much that would affect underneath the stairs. Let me think about it when we talk to them.
Think about it, okay. That's those two things, and we did put that the village needs to make sure that we clear and salt that in the wintertime, that alleyway, because we haven't been doing that. We need to make sure that people can go through. We want to do benches, some more benches. So talking about, they're going to give me a list, but tentatively one in front of Homer Men and Boys, which wouldn't have a back on it. One in front of Sheridan's probably, and maybe one in front of the Historic Society. And basically what we would want to do is put something in the Homer News and allow people to sponsor it. And if they buy it, well, they get a plaque on it that says, in memory of or whatever. I think people will jump on them.